Is yours off
professional.
again?
What? No.
Oh, no, it's good.
Yeah. He's going to lean in.
All right.
I just
Yeah,
have to-
silly.
I have to
Okay, all right,
suck
okay.
its the whole time.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Thank You For Your Services podcast. The podcast... Okay.
This podcast was... I was thinking of this little...
Wow.
Didn't mean it like that.
Great call.
Yeah.
I was thinking of this spiel on the way over here. This podcast was birthed right here, right in this room, in a chair sitting right there, and right outside on those very streets. When we were riding
on those
bikes.
Tommy 2
On the
streets.
streets.
Not quite.
Because
but-
Tommy's from the streets.
Born of the streets.
No. Matt and I are always talking to each other about work and shit, and then next thing you know, we turned mics on, and here's this podcast.
There's Mike. We turned him on.
Yeah. My mic is on.
Speaking of mics,
So this is Thank You For Your Services podcast. If you're new to this podcast, this is a podcast about the working world and what we do for a living and what our friends do for a living and whoever else we decide to bring on the show. If you would like to catch us on social media, you can find us on Instagram at ThankYouForUrServices_podcast, where that links you to all of our other
all of our various
things.
wares.
Yeah, I don't know what to call those.
you know,
all of our other things.
all the platforms we can be found
Platforms. Thank you, Jesus. I could not think of that word.
on. No, you should keep talking though. Not
Okay.
letting me do it.
Ooh.
It wasn't that serious.
Yikes.
Our TikTok is on there. YouTube is on there.
Friendship is at 70% right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but your volume is at 100.
Oh, yeah. I talk very loud, naturally. Yes, I'm a loud talker.
Anyway, that's thanks for your services _podcast on Instagram, and you can find all of our shit on there. And if you're not a social media person, or if you have a long story to tell, or if you have a short story, or if you have a comment or a criticism or whatever, you can shoot us an email at thankyouforyourservices@gmail.com, and that's spelled thankyouforyourservices@gmail.com. Exactly.
We have an interesting show for you tonight, folks.
Yeah, it just kind of came together. It's cool.
Yeah, we have our two friends. We have Jay, who's my coworker, and we have a longtime friend of both Tom and me, Mike, or Mikey Fresh, as we knew him since we were like 13.
Kids.
Yeah. So
Chitlins.
back to the MySpace days. Well, I guess I didn't have MySpace at age 13, but when did I get a MySpace? Like 16. I think I was 16.
Why are
like
you asking
14.
me? I don't know.
So the Mike part of your nickname is probably self-explanatory, but where did the fresh come from?
Oh, God. So when I was like 13 or 14, my one buddy just one day said it. I was grounded walking the dog just to get out of the fucking house, and he saw me, and he was like, Mikey Fresh, and like introduced me to one of his friends.
And it stuck?
It just fucking stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the
Wow.
best ones. Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
They don't make any sense.
No, and that's like how he said MySpace. It was like, oh, MySpace name. I was like, what should my MySpace name be? Everyone's
Yeah.
like, just do Mikey Fresh, and it just fucking stuck.
Mine was Fat Matt.
Yeah.
Actually,
See? It works.
Here's a little Easter egg for all you servicers out there, which is what I decided to call the fans today.
Okay.
Uh,
I call them coworkers.
That's actually way
That's a
better.
good one.
That's way better. All right, for all the coworkers out there, my original MySpace name was Rude Boy Matt. So I was really into ska growing up, and I asked my dad to take pictures of me for my MySpace because I didn't own a camera, and it was pictures of me with a Rude Boy fedora on and sunglasses.
Do those still exist?
No.
Are we sure?
Yeah,
I seen him though.
because I deleted my MySpace in 2009, something like that. And I had like all my old like pictures of me with my leopard print hair and all that cool shit. And I don't have any pictures of that shit anymore of like my old punk.
I think that
days.
was around the time everyone started switching to Facebook. Like,
Yeah,
making
it
the
was.
switch over slowly but surely.
Which I fucking never liked Facebook. I still don't. I miss MySpace.
It
was way cool.
I think 2009 is pre-Wayback Machine too, so you can't even go back and access it.
It's it's pre-Wayback Machine? I don't think so. Can't you access any website ever?
Well, but only from when they started archiving.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
just like
so-
a time machine. Just like the time machine theory.
So
you can
they-
only go back to the point that the time machine was invented. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a time machine, so
Right, exactly. But once you invent one, you can only go forward or back to the moment that the time machine was invented.
And what did you call that?
It's like it's a time machine theory.
Theory. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Well, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Well,
That theory, so.
he's also a notorious cunt.
This is true.
What?
Really?
Neil deGrasse Tyson? What did he do?
He's highly intelligent, and I enjoy his voice, and I like his points, and I think he's a brilliant guy, but he is a fucking party pooper.
Yeah.
What is up, Music
Absolutely.
Gaming 12?
He
What is going on,
sharpshoots
bro?
Damn. Where's he been?
Yeah, I don't
Waiting,
know.
obviously.
Wait.
Where have you been, Music Gaming 12?
Welcome back.
Yeah, it does make sense. Thank you. For those
Sure.
of you who are Twitch people, Music Gaming 12 is a speedrunner of multiple games. My favorite one that he plays is Chippendale Rescue Rangers on the NES. And he's fucking rad at that game. He's very, very
Oh,
good at that
shit.
game.
Speaking of NES. hold
Yeah,
on.
what's up?
My mom
What do you got for me?
tagged me in it was a meme, but
Oh.
it was like one of those like pointers.
Your
like,
mom
yeah.
knows what memes are?
Yeah, my
He
mom's
has like young parents.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
His parents
Fuck.
are cool.
No, my
Define
parents are...
cool.
My parent, you got some...
Yeah, Mikey, your headphones are fucking
You got some schmutz
like
on your neck.
disintegrating.
Yeah. Oh, it's from the headphones. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the
Oh.
left side of your neck.
It's just schmutz.
Yeah, it's just...
It's fake
There you go.
leather.
Yeah.
Clever.
No, it's a picture of
Playing
somebody holding a control, like an NES controller, and it says, "You can continue from where you died by continuing to
excellent.
hold the A button while hitting start after the game over screen for Super Mario Brothers."
And what does that do? That's a warp. That's a warp.
So you can
zone?
continue from where you died after game over by
Okay.
holding A and
Hitting
hitting
start.
start
Okay,
after
gotcha.
game over. I'm gonna try.
I don't think I knew that either. Yeah, that's cool.
That would have saved me so many hours.
Did you? You've
of
gotten to the warp
frustration.
zone before, right? In Super
Oh,
Mario?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I do. It's just warp zone.
Just warp zone?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
fucking
fuck
care.
that. Yeah. No way.
Dude, I'll play Super Mario World, and I'll literally get to Star Road, and
Yeah.
then get to Bowser's Castle and beat the game in like 15, 20 minutes,
Oh,
just
shit.
for fun, just to do it.
Really?
It's not a speed run per se, but
It's speedy.
it's speedy. Yeah.
It may not be the official way to.
Which one's me?
You're three.
I'm gonna.
You feel free to adjust
Yeah,
as
I'm
we
gonna
go.
take it down. I just realized I'm like super loud.
It sounds so nice though.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it does. It sounds really good. Yo, so get this. On Monday, I was going to my chiropractor, saw a guy on a street corner on Lincoln, yo-yoing.
Really?
Like full-on yo-yoing. Yeah.
Is that coming
Walking the
back?
dog. I have no idea, but...
Bus stop?
No.
Just walking?
A different corner. No, he was
Oh.
like just hanging out,
You don't see
yo-yoing.
that every day.
No, you don't.
No.
Not these days.
I'm actually surprised though. Now that you bring it up, because it's the fidget spinners and everything are so popular. Why didn't yo-yoing come back when fidget spinners took off?
Because you can't yo-yo in class, I think, but you can fidget spin in like a
Yeah.
classroom.
You
Yeah.
can't just throw a yo-yo anywhere.
But okay, so when I was a kid, did you guys have that like a yo-yo salesman that would come to your school?
Sure
Yep.
did.
Yeah. Okay, me
What?
too.
I think they were in business
Yeah,
with the
I was about to
schools,
say.
man.
I don't think you guys probably had that down south, right?
I think the schools were on the take.
We had book fairs. That's about as good as it
Yeah, no,
got,
no.
dude.
This was. We had book fairs as well, but we
Yeah.
had a yo-yo guy that would come, and I'm telling you what, he fucking music
They-
man the shit out of me because I bought so many yo-yos.
Oh my
Like
God.
I bought like I was like the Duncan master, dude. I had like a butterfly yo-yo, and I had one with flames on it to make it yo-yo faster,
Dude.
And I was walking the dog.
15 more horsepower.
I had
Yeah.
the blinking one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Do you remember the ones with like the plastic things on the inside? And I was always like, what do those do? Are those like extra spring-loaded yo-yos so that you could sleep it longer? Or
Oh,
what?
yeah. That
Right?
shit. They had like gyros in them.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I think the schools were on the take
No,
for the
I think,
yo-yo companies.
Probably.
I think the reason they didn't pick up though is if just thinking about it, like yo-yoing wasn't easy. Like to do
That
like
too.
to hold like to
I was
drop
pretty
it,
good
hold
at
it.
it. Like I could do the cats in the cradle. I could do, around the world. That one was kind of easy.
Yeah.
But if you sleep it and then you do it, and then I could walk the dog. And I'm trying to think.
What's
What
the climb one?
What's the other yo-yo?
The itsy
trick?
bitsy spider thing.
Oh
Whatever the
yeah,
fuck
I don't
that
think I
was.
could ever do that one.
Yeah, you do that and
the
like
fingers
rolls
and shit.
up and rolls around your
Yeah.
finger.
That's
yeah.
cool.
I did that.
Remember the sticks? Remember the 3 sticks?
Nah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
With the big ass, the giant yo-yo between the two sticks. Is that what you're talking about?
No, but I do remember that as well. No, I'm talking about like in the 90s. Remember there was like sticks and they had like fringe on them.
They still do that at Ren
They're like
fairs.
batons and shit.
Yeah,
Almost, yeah.
They do it at Ren fairs?
Yeah, they sell them and try to fucking impress
You're
people.
telling
with them and
me
shit.
there were bros in the Renaissance?
Probably.
Renaissance Bros.
There's bros in all businesses.
Do you remember 2009? Well, fuck, what was it called? It
I
was like that
remember
amazing
2009.
orb. It was like that orb ball that would like the infomercial would come on like
Yeah.
at like after midnight and shit.
Yeah.
You talking about like the UFO thing that you would? It was like a big balloon.
No, it was like
was
just
it?
a clear ball that looked like it was always moving or some bullshit.
No,
It
like
was
from
It was
Phantasm.
like Fugazi or.
It's like a beach.
What is the name of that?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
It's like a beach trick.
Yeah, it had like the ball on the inside was in like water, and you could move the outside, and you had those dudes that would like pretend like they were really cool and like move it between all their hands and shit.
Yeah. People still fuck
No,
around
I
with
have
them.
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Fushigi ball. I knew it was like.
Absolutely.
The Fushigi ball?
Yeah, I remember it was like I thought it was like a play on Fugazi, but yeah.
Do you
it's
think
Fushigi.
anybody got laid doing that? There's
People
no
get
way,
laid
right?
doing all
know.
kinds of things.
Yeah, but not the Fushigi ball.
They
You know?
probably stopped fushigi balling and then did the the things in people's faces when they're high at EDM.
He
Yeah,
probably
it's true.
he probably did get laid a lot, but that's after buying a bunch of pussy from all the money he stole from people
yeah.
for
Yeah.
saying that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And
And
it
if they
wasn't.
sold, they sold.
Yeah.
How many
Just an
people
ask
in
for every
Florida
seed.
do you think bought fucking Fushigi balls?
Too many.
Everyone.
Yeah, probably.
The commercials were always on a beach.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. The kite factory in Rehoboth Beach probably sold 35 million
yeah.
of them.
Yeah, that's true. The fucking
That
kite
would be some
factory.
shit that's like, oh, only like as seen on TV. And it's like you go to the beach and it's like, yeah, it's like a fashigi ball.
The faux
Spelled
shigi
with a
ball.
PH.
Spelled
Yeah.
spelled FEAUX. The faux shigi ball.
Remember too those like mini bikes,
Yeah.
like the super mini ones that were like
I sure
Oh,
the
do.
seat
yeah.
was like
The tire
regular
was
height.
this big.
Yeah, I remember.
Dude, I
that
wanted one of
shit.
those so fucking bad when I was a kid.
But the tire was like this big around, but also still somehow like this wide.
Yeah.
And they folded up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could actually ride them?
Yeah. You look like a fool, but you could, in theory, ride them.
Yeah, but in fucking the year 2000, you were listening to Bounce With Me by fucking Little Bow Wow.
Oh,
or
some
whatever.
of us were.
Yeah.
No, I bought
I sure was,
same
yeah.
year bought Reanimation by Linkin Park at the boardwalk.
Oh God, I didn't even know what Linkin Park was back then.
In fact, there was like a thing for a little bit. Those mini bikes, they would put motors on them, and there were like services that would come pick you up they would
What?
they would pick you up with your car if you were like too drunk to drive or something,
Yeah.
and drive you home.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah.
When I was in Japan, they did that where you could
Really?
could book it ahead of time, where somebody came out and like this little teeny tiny fucking moped and threw the moped in the back of your car and drove your car home when you were drinking. It's a genius idea that I don't understand why it didn't take off in the United States.
I don't
I feel
know.
like
There's a lot
I feel
of
like the
stuff in
diaphragm of
Japan.
that mic isn't turned the right way.
It might be actually, yeah.
Do you want me to continue
No, pull
spinning?
the pop filter up.
I think it was fine.
Yeah, you mute 'em.
Wrong button. Wrong button.
Let me see. Yeah,
And yet
that might be the
somehow I
problem.
think it
pull
was
it
the
up.
right button.
Let's see.
You can see into it if you look a certain way, and it's gold, so it's pretty easy to see.
Pretty sure he has it the right way.
No, it's pointed like at his shoulder.
Yeah.
Not the no, literally put the stand
This-
down and just turn this part of the mic.
Yeah.
Matt taught me how to do that.
I did.
Yeah,
You
you were
you're
doing
talking
it.
about. Oh, okay.
Like you literally turned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Keep going. That should do it.
Now talk into it.
Hello.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah.
See,
There
yeah,
we
you can
go.
back up a little bit.
You sound
Cool.
like Hannibal Lecter. Hello, Clarice.
Anyway,
I fucking hate condenser microphones.
I muted
for
him
that
just in
reason.
time.
Yeah. Just get a real mic.
What, define real. That's a microphone.
I
a vocal
choose
mic.
not to.
Okay.
Thank you for muting me before I made the fucking.
It's probably gonna come through one of these hot mics.
Dude,
That's
today
okay.
at work was so fucking annoying because we were not busy for the first, like, fucking 8 hours. And in the last 2 hours, we had to rush and do a bunch of shit because we were waiting on pilots to run up these birds.
It was like the last 35 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, it really was. I hate days like that, dude. We stood around an hour and a half before lunch
I'm suspicious
Just-
of that.
just talking, and I was going out of my mind.
I don't know. You were sending me photos with your coworkers the other day.
I was, yeah.
So you must have been having a good
I said,
time.
hey, me and my buddy just saw this movie Smile, which I will fucking get to in a minute because I have way too much to say about that. And I said, can you guys pose so we can send my friend a picture of us smiling? I thought it was hilarious. You didn't think it was funny, and then you sent me a dumb Obama video. of Trump saying Obama.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite sound bites of
You
all
send
time.
it to me once a week.
I'm gonna keep doing it. It's on a timer.
So check this out, all you fucking coworkers out there.
All of my coworkers. all of
So
our
we go
coworkers
to
in there.
see. So the wife and I want to go see Smile, and I'm texting Tommy 2 Streets about it, and he was like, "Oh, what time?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't even remember when we went. Like 7:30." It's so stupid. And so he, him and his lady want to meet us there. So they do.
That should be a button, just for the record.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Continue.
So it
No,
was,
Trump will
it was
probably
7
sue us.
It was 7:20.
Okay, whatever.
And we
7:20.
It
So
was
we
at
go
the-
there. We're already like running late because the snack line there only has one register open, and there's
Naturally.
5 fucking registers. Yeah, drives me nuts. I'm sure they're short staffed, so I can't. But then I do see other workers there. Just I don't even know what they're doing. They got
Yeah.
one headphone in.
They got check tickets.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What
So,
day was it again?
It was a
Sunday?
Sunday? Was it a Sunday? Yeah, it was a Sunday.
It was
I think.
Sunday. In their defense, it was 7:30 on a Sunday. Not a huge movie day. Like the last.
Oh, there was a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people there.
So in our
defense,
we walk in maybe like 3 minutes late into the movie. So the movie already started because this is a theater.
Yeah.
They don't fucking do previews. They just start
Okay,
the
where is
movie.
this?
The
Penn
Riverfront.
Cinema.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks. Because I'm always like, Liz, we gotta go. They don't do any previews there.
I hate
They
previews.
start. See, I love previews.
Me too. I love them.
So we get there. The people next to me are just talking at normal fucking volume through almost the entire movie.
So I could overhear it because
Yeah.
I was like 2 seats away from them.
Yeah.
And I timed it, and they talked the entire movie.
Yeah. But so as I was getting up the courage to fucking yell at them, Tommy 2 Streets also talks during movies, just not as much. Every like half hour or so, I hear, oh, he ugly, and I hear him smacking his feet on the recliner chair's leather. And I was like, I
comfortable.
can't yell at them because I also have to yell at my fucking best fucking
You
friend
could have
over here.
pretended he wasn't with you.
Nah, I can't do that. He looks like he was definitely with me.
That's
We were
fair.
the only 2 people that look like us in that
That's
theater.
Mel and I were in movie theater attire, aka sweatpants and hoodies.
And yet Mel didn't make a sound.
Yeah, because she was just chilling, She was also far enough away from you that you probably didn't know. We talked to each other, by the way.
Yeah, and I'll hear, oh, he ugly, and then I also hear like, oh,
I didn't do that.
You definitely, Liz,
Prove
are you
it.
still in there? What sounds does Tom make during a movie?
He was laughing.
I was laughing. She's fucking sue me.
She's being nice, bro.
Yeah, I know. She's super nice.
She's a fucking saint.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That woman's a fucking saint.
Horror movies are made better in theaters by people making stupid noises.
Okay,
Bingo,
Not
thank you.
talking the entire fucking film.
Like,
that
okay.
shit was so. This girl and her boyfriend were arguing over.
They were arguing about something completely unrelated to the
and
movie.
at normal volume, and he was.
Just
She's like, "You
fucking-
better." She's like, "Get off your phone." He was like, "You get off yours." She's like, "No," and I was like, "Okay."
One of my best theater experiences of all time was in Salisbury, Maryland, and I went into this theater with a date.
I love that theater, by the way.
The Regal Cinemas in Salisbury is actually pretty decent, but the
There's another one. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
so not that theater.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you call it? And it ended up being me and this girl, and the rest of the theater is a 100% black.
Yep.
And
Okay.
they were just like, "Oh, I can't believe that she's gonna do that." I don't even remember what movie it was, and it made it so much better.
I'll do you one better. Well, not better, but I took our friend Garrett to see the first Conjuring in theater
In Philly.
in the South Philly United Artists Theater, and let's just say us 3 whites stuck out like
Yep.
a sore thumb, or 3 sore thumbs rather.
I
But-
want to see a ghost movie. Yeah.
But we got our entire entertainment value
Oh, yeah.
from our ticket price through the previews. Like, let alone the movie. It was
Just an
still
event.
It was still the best movie theater experience I've ever had.
See-
I was dying the entire movie.
And I had the most awkward theater experience of my entire life in the exact same situation. All I had to do was change the movie. Because I went and saw Django, and it was me, 2 other white dudes, and the rest of the theater was black.
Yeah.
That was a very awkward movie.
Yeah. To see in that setting.
I saw The Black Klansman like
In the
that.
same way?
Yep.
Oh.
I was gonna say that was a movie I saw the same way, and I was like,
I saw it at one of the Ritz theaters in Philly too.
Maybe I'm gonna leave.
When I tell you I was low in my seat, I sunk. I was like, I was under the seat practically.
You didn't laugh when Leonardo DiCaprio said the N-word a bunch, did you?
We're talking about The Black
No, they
Klansman.
went-
I
saw The
know.
Black
I'm
Klansman.
talking about Django.
I didn't see Django in theater. What is this? What is this about?
I said
Oh,
Django.
you said Django.
Yeah. I'm glad you're listening.
I was listening.
He's waiting for his turn to talk.
he's listening. Just got the details
Please,
wrong.
please give me a spit take on camera directly at my face.
God.
God damn.
Well,
Oh, also, I probably made 3 or 4 or 5 comments to Mel in quiet moments because it was aptly timed. It was a funny little joke, but
it
that movie
was not, by the way,
in my
wasn't
defense,
funny.
that movie was too fucking long.
Yeah, it was probably. It was.
How long
They
was
could have cut. It was.
It was like an hour 50.
It was
Yeah.
about almost 2 hours. Yeah.
They could have lost a good 15 minutes.
And
out
you
of
know
that
how
movie.
I fucking knew that was the people
it
next
up.
to me were like, "Oh my god, what time is it? That's crazy."
By
Because
people
we've
next to
been
you,
here
you mean
since
him?
7. No,
Oh.
the other people next to me. We've been here since 7, and it's 9 right now. Normal volume, actually louder than normal volume. So Liz and I are normal moviegoers that fucking don't like it when people talk during movies.
Nobody should like it.
Yeah,
It's
but
not-
sometimes it helps.
Sometimes it
Seldom.
helps,
Seldom.
not in that movie.
Nah.
It was like that. Honestly, that movie wasn't. I didn't think it was terrible. Like I thought it was fine. I like that. There's a cool ass creature in it.
I thought it
Like,
was fine.
and I didn't want to. I didn't want to like spoil it for anybody. But
I thought it was good
I don't.
/
I'll-
fine.
Literally, I don't care about spoilers
okay, well,
because
spoiler alert.
I will fucking forget.
Me
that
too.
I
I'm the
even
same
heard about
way.
it,
Yeah,
and then I'll
nothing
go-
gets spoiled
yeah.
for
I'm
me.
honestly probably never going to watch it. So.
And then during the movie, I'm like, that was crazy. But like, oh yeah, Matt told me about that like 2 months ago.
There's a really cool creature in it, and they do practical effects for a lot of it, and it looks good. Like honestly,
That's
it
what
looks
me and Darren were talking about the other night. Is like practical effects 10 times better than like.
Oh, yeah,
unless it's like
always,
a
yeah.
really bad B movie with like shitty CGI blood, and it's like it's funny.
That's fine.
like Birdemic.
But yeah, but
Have you never seen Birdemic?
That's the one where
Oh.
they just edited a tremendous amount of random birds into the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that one.
Yeah, but
yeah.
And they don't. The context of the birds coming in doesn't even make sense. It's just, and they're not reacting in the right places. It's magnificent.
CGI blood is the fucking worst though. That ruins a scene for me.
there was a movie we watched. It was on Netflix recently. I forget what it was called, but
What happens in it?
It's a vampire movie. It's actually kind of good.
Was it Day Hunters or whatever? The one with Jamie Foxx?
Yes, with Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Night Shift.
corny.
Night shift, day shift.
Day shift.
Day
yeah.
shift.
It was corny, but it was like good corny. It was like funny
Yeah.
corny.
Yeah.
Like Snoop Dogg being a fucking
Cowboy.
a cowboy fucking vampire hunter. Like,
It's great.
That's cool.
Have
Yeah.
you seen Snoop Dogg's movie Tales? I think Tales from fuck.
Tales from fuck.
Tales from the Hood?
No, it's not Tales from the Hood. Fuck, I should.
I know the movie you're talking about. It has the has like the skull with the sunglasses on the front of the cover, right?
I shouldn't have even brought it up because I forgot what it's called. But it's hilarious.
Yeah, don't worry. The movie I brought up, I forgot what
It's
it was called.
it's a collection of 3 small movies all put together, but it's
it's an anthology. Film,
yeah. Snoop
like VHS.
Snoop Dogg is like the main character / like crux of the story.
Road
Kinda
El
like-
Dorado.
No. But it is hysterically bad, and yeah.
Yeah, but I like bad movies, and I like we go to any horror movie that comes out usually, and like Smile wasn't a bad horror movie. It was actually pretty good. I will say they could have cut about 10 minutes out of that film. I think that
could've
was
cut
that
about an
was
hour.
Yeah, so it wasn't long. It was just too long
It was
for what
too
it was.
fucking
Too long
It's
for what it
you
was,
hit
yeah.
the point. Now I end it.
Because there were some really good, like, creepy, scary moments in there.
Yeah.
Like, some good jump scare moments. And, like, I like jump scares. I know a lot of horror fans, like, they, like, get pissed about it. But, like, I'm like, dude, but that's why I go
cheap.
fucking see them. It's fun.
It's cheap, but that's the
cheap.
only
It is
time
cheap,
I've
but it's
ever been
fun.
scared of a movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like...
No, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
like, It Follows is a fantastic film because it's just a really well done film. But, like, the jump scares in that are really well done. They hold up, you know. You've seen It Follows, right?
Yeah, a couple times.
No, I haven't seen it.
I think
It's
you'd like
one of
it.
the better horror movies that's come out
In the last 10 years, yeah.
I agree.
It
wholeheartedly.
was an independent film that eventually got
It fucking caught
a
fire,
large
yeah.
release, large distribution.
It is
great film.
Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror.
Oh
Horror.
yeah, okay.
That sounds
was
fantastic.
Amazon Prime. It's
Nice.
okay.
There's a lot of good B horror movies on Amazon Prime. We just watched one the other night called Splinter. Have anybody seen this?
I've heard
From
its name, but
2008.
no.
It's about this like parasite that these people it like splinters one of them and it like grows on you. And
I've
it's fucking rad.
I don't know if
I don't
I've-
want to spoil anything.
I haven't seen it, but like I've seen
Like clips or
trailers and
something.
clips. Yeah, I've seen clips
Well,
a ton.
For
yeah.
anybody listening, good horror movie. In fact, I found out about it through Wicked Horror Show, that podcast I love that we've had Kev on from Wicked Horror Show. Are you sick? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I'm fucking sick. No, I have
Jesus
allergies.
Christ.
That's what everybody who's sick has ever said ever.
Dude, I've been stuffed since I moved back to Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people say that because the air is horrible here.
because it sucks at eggs. It's horrible.
Sucks.
I don't know what it's on, but we watched a cool documentary series. It was it's a straight to VHS or straight to video sequels. Like
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
It's all
Like
horror
Troll
movie
2.
stuff. One was like bunch of different ones, and it's like commentary on the movies.
That's cool.
I kind of tuned it out a little bit, but from what I saw, it was fun. It goes from there's another one we watched too. It goes over like horror genres from like 80s to 2000.
That's cool.
A lot of that shit is so popular right now. Like anything that has to do with like VHS and stuff. I'm glad like a lot like the newer generation's into it, honestly, because that's the shit I loved growing up.
Speaking of that, Darren got into an argument the other night again about horror movie bullshit.
Oh,
We were
really?
talking,
Oh,
not
yeah?
like an argument, but like
I know what disagreement.
just found
Yeah.
out is when I discovered she has no idea like how generations work. Like she was thinking Gen X, like she was thinking of Gen X, like early Gen X. She's like, oh, boomers. I'm like, no.
Almost, but not quite.
Like we were thinking of
Right
like
after Boomers.
because I saw a TikTok that it was like if I forget the movies they said if this movie it was if Scream is the Gen X like horror movie.
It is, yeah.
And
You think so?
I
It
thought
is.
that's why I thought
Yeah.
it was more millennial when
No.
I first said it. But
It's
Yeah,
early
that's-
millennial.
That's 100 because the stars of the movie and who it's about and who it was made for are Gen Xers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
think
true.
we were trying to figure out the millennial, like what would the millennial one be? And I was like, it would have to be like Saw or like
Saw, yeah. I would say
Saw was
Saw.
what, 2003?
No, you gotta go
2004,
earlier
yeah.
than that. Like,
Well, Scream was what 97.
96, yeah. Scream was
96, yeah.
96. But
Oh, sorry.
but
never mind.
who
I'm
but
confused.
when we're old enough to now not just see a movie but understand like the full capacity of something.
Yeah, it was-
like when we're teenagers, like I'm trying to think of like what was directed at us.
found footage.
Saw.
That
Saw
Bro,
and found
found
I would,
footage.
you know what? Paranormal
Saw, you're
paranormal
100%
activity.
Paranormal
right.
fucking
Yeah,
activity.
paranormal activity.
Well, the question
is
was
for us.
what was like genre defining, like what was like genre defining for
Defining?
horror, and like Scream was like
yeah
a breakaway
I would-
in
like
like
I
the
s-
for that
Paranormal
generation.
Activity.
Paranormal Activity
That's a-
started a whole bunch of other, like,
Well,
Bullshit.
I mean, there was stuff
There
before
was-
Paranormal Activity. Blair Witch,
Yeah, Blair
really.
Witch.
And honestly,
Bla-
even before, there's so much other found footage stuff before then. There's a whole documentary about
but
it.
Blair
Yeah.
Witch was like the found footage movie for
Right.
that generation. But I think Paranormal Activity, not just the found footagey part of it, but like it looked very cheap to make, and also
and yet it looked really good.
Well, they
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
did found footage well, which is
Yeah.
I
Plus,
really
those
think that's
people
the
were
first.
about our age,
Yeah.
and
making it.
after that movie, there were all kinds of other paranormal fucking movies coming out too.
So many. I would
Like,
say
what-
Paranormal Activity did it best, and then after them, everybody. I'm not parodied in like it always had to be funny, but everybody copied and then
Yeah.
gave a little bit of a twist.
Because I think Saw kind of went with the like body horror, super like gory side of things, and that kind of
So not the first Saw though.
The first Saw was all
First
fucking
Saw,
mind
yeah,
shit.
first Saw
Yeah.
you don't see hardly any violence in the
Oh, I
entire
guess you're
film.
right.
It's just
Yeah.
intense.
That's why that movie is so incredible.
It's incredible.
Plus, it had a budget of like $750,000, and it made like
So much.
$1 billion.
Is the first Saw Carrie Elways?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Is that how you say his last name?
I have no idea.
Because I've always said Ools. I never knew how to say
I
it.
promise you that's not it.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, the way I say it. Yeah, no, it's definitely not it.
But anyway, yeah, I found out that she has no idea how generations work. Like she was calling
weird.
like early. She was calling
It's
like
James
early
Wan.
Gen X.
Yeah, I know. It's
Gen X
James
boomers.
Wan and Lee Wanell's like first film together.
Never mind. Keep going, sorry.
Yeah, I could talk about that movie.
Like we were
forever.
going through like my horror collection, and she was like, "Oh, like I was like in the '80s," and she goes, "Oh, that's boomer." I'm like, "No. Like Nightmare on Elm Street's not boomer energy. Like that's
Silly girl.
Well, it kind of is.
But
I
then
mean,
like I was naming shit. Like she was like millennial. She was like, "You were 7 when you saw Scream," and I was like, "Yeah, and I'm a millennial." She was like, "Yeah, but like that's not like." You weren't old enough to go to the movies. I was like, yeah, but people that were
went,
born
though.
in 1981
right.
were old enough to go see that movie in theaters.
They were taking us
See,
there.
I saw Scream
Yeah, shit.
in '97 because I saw it when it came out on
Same.
VHS.
So did I, yeah.
So I was 7, and I saw Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time when I was 8, and that
You saw that late. I would expect like we would see it earlier.
no,
than
because
that.
I
did.
I didn't see the original Nightmare on Elm Street till '98, but I saw New Nightmare in '96 when I was 6. That was my first Freddy experience.
You know what
New
movie I
Nightmare.
saw in '98?
What?
Don't Be a Menace.
Just Don't Be a Menace.
Great
One
movie.
of my favorite movies.
Great movie.
Yeah. No,
Talk about a well done parody.
Oh
yeah.
dude. Wayne's brothers
That
killed
was,
it.
That was like
Early
a
Wayans.
such a defining God.
I don't think Nightmare on Elm Street scares this generation though.
Probably
Like
not.
that scared the shit out of me, dude. In '98, I couldn't sleep for weeks.
Dude, there was a there's a video I saw, and it was like something about like what's scary about like killers is that like they have like disabilities, and then it was like TikTok, and dude Stitch, he goes, "Oh, I had no idea. Like, I thought I was always afraid of Freddy Krueger because he could like kill you in his dreams, but as a burn victim, you can just do that."
Oh, just scare people?
Just kill people in their sleep. As a burn victim. Oh god, I'm never gonna look at Freddy Krueger the same.
Yeah, like that. So we have a guy at work. I think I was talking about this last week. Like he's very religious and he can't watch horror movies.
God, he's so fun.
But
to fuck
he can't
with.
even celebrate Halloween.
He can't celebrate Halloween.
It's fucking tragic.
It makes me so sad.
Right?
What's he,
But I was-
Jehovah's Witness?
No.
What is
No,
he?
he's just lame.
He's not. He's not lame. He's honestly a great guy.
Was he
but
like? I'm trying
I
to.
can't remember
Is
what
No,
it's called.
it's like
Pentecostal. or is it
Pentecostal.
it's.
I forgot.
It's to the point where it's like a traditionalist in whatever it is. It's
like
one of
his
those
wife can't
versions
cut her hair and
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Where
yeah.
it's like you're not
What?
men aren't supposed to shave their beards, which he has to because
He
of
has to,
work.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like I'm not gonna dime the guy out, but
No,
there's
he's
a
honestly-
good reason why he is. If he had not found religion at the time that he did,
Yeah.
he would be in a very different portion. of his
He's
life.
one of those guys who kind of
Yeah,
like
it's one of
needed
those
it, I
things.
think.
But I get
But-
to make all these stupid, like, really offensive religious jokes because he hates it so much and walks away. Like,
And he won't like curse back at you or anything. He's just like, oh, you guys have your fun.
You darn.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You boys have your fun. I'm out.
yeah,
of here.
yeah, exactly.
forgive me, Father, my coworkers have sinned.
Yeah.
Christ.
But I was telling him, I said that's wild to me because like when you watch A Nightmare on Elm Street, like it's not only a good horror movie, it shows you like why vigilantism is bad because then it comes back to haunt you eventually. Like that's the point of A Nightmare on Elm Street is like all the parents burn this guy and eventually it fucking came back to bite them in the ass and killing their kids.
Yeah, but they stoned people in the Bible, and they thought that was okay. So
Yeah.
vigilantism is probably not that far off.
But what I'm saying is like horror is always a satire on whatever the modern society is doing, and it's crazy to me that he can't watch them. But
So is that why a lot of the like the older horror doesn't apply because the kids aren't going out to like lake houses and fucking each other?
when you say older
Took the
horror,
words
what do you
right
mean?
out of my mouth.
Do you mean what do you?
No, it was just it was a
Universal?
joke. Like you'd have
Oh.
to actually go outside to experience the world. in order
Oh,
for
I
current
see.
for older
Honestly,
horror
yeah,
to-
that's why
to
so a lot of
apply.
people like on Reddit talked about Host being like the scariest movie to come out in the last 10 years. And I was like, that wasn't that scary.
No.
Do you know? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Where they're like on the Zoom meeting. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
They're
the
on like
movie
they're like it was like they're made during the pandemic. Great idea. You know, it was made. It was filmed in a Zoom meeting, and they did like a paranormal thing. It was a good movie, but I'm like,
It probably cost about
scariest movie?
$15 to make.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing previews for that one.
It's good. It's just, I mean, it's not the scary.
Fine.
I'm trying to think of like the scariest movie to come out.
I gotta find that. I'm not a fan of Final Destination at all.
Oh, those are great.
But
Fantastic. movies.
apparently, when they pitched the new movie, they did it during quarantine on a Zoom call, and it was a. What are you doing? What's that?
Keep talking.
Oh, it
Don't
was.
look at me.
It was. They did like their whole shtick of like what Final Destination is, but they did it.
They, like,
on a
acted
Zoom,
it
on
out?
a Zoom. Well, they pre-recorded it and played the pre-recording as the pitch meeting,
That's cool.
and like everyone was like, "That's fucking awesome!" Like I heard about it, I haven't seen it yet, but
I'd like to see that. I mean, do you think Final Destination would scare the new generation?
I don't know
if
about
you did it
scare.
well.
What scare the new generation literally has anything at their fingertips, right? Like
So Black
Take it
Mirror
away.
kind of goes into that direction of like technology,
Yeah.
and I think like
good.
I
Yeah, that's a
hate sounding like a fucking old
no.
asshole.
No,
That's
you're
like
not, you're
kids these days, all they
no,
do is
no.
shit on their phone, because that's all I fucking do in my free time half the time. But I think something like that would real, and like what you were saying is like you back in the day, like it, like watching A Nightmare on Elm Street, like it felt real. It felt like if you fell asleep,
It did,
Freddy
yeah.
Krueger was going to come get you.
Yeah, because we
Just
didn't
like-
know better.
Just
also,
like I didn't want to go on back roads at night by myself because I thought teenagers were going to run me over their car for points.
Yeah.
because-
oh,
You're right.
Toxic Avenger.
yes, I
yeah.
saw that when I was like 7.
Fucking love the Toxic Avenger.
You'd have to like really find somebody that will drive behind a log truck after Final Destination.
Dude,
Not me.
honestly, yeah.
Dude, like that.
That-
if you talk about a
part
single
2.
event from a movie that changed so many people's,
Yep.
like I for sure will not drive behind a log truck, and there's no good reason because I mean I know ratchet straps exist,
just
but
because. Though.
And even before that was the Descent, and the similar thing happened, and the metal pole goes through the husband's head. You ever see the Descent?
Not in a
They go
while.
into the caves.
The caves, yeah.
but yeah,
Great
dude,
movie.
there's got to be stuff like that from like Final Destination-esque that would affect this generation.
yeah,
Like, straight up.
something like that.
Well, like, so the new generation really likes what there is called like elevated horror in the horror community, which is like Get Out, or like they call it elevated horror because it has like, you know, this
Woke
deeper,
horror?
yeah, it's like very like woke and has
It's all like
a
psychological.
deep- but it's
to an
not
extent.
like horror's been that way since the dawn of time. I always find it very insulting that they call it elevated horror.
It's a very pretentious.
It is. It's
sounding-
very
pretentious.
pretentious because like I don't think Get Out's a very good movie, but
Speaking of,
people fucking
I have a horror movie idea.
what I want to know.
It plays off the conspiracy theory of like reptilians.
Okay.
Keep going.
But yeah,
I'm listening.
this whole nuclear bullshit's going on with like
Russia?
scares with Russia and
sure,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. So we actually do have a nuclear war between the United States and Russia. But in the movie, when like destruction starts hitting, the reptilians come out of the earth and start feeding on all the humans.
That'd be cool.
Because it's
Yeah.
like the perfect opportunity. So like
That'd be
then
rad.
it turns into everyone like now like, oh, what the fuck? Like we were at war, now we got to worry about these fucking
Now we have a common
reptiles
enemy.
that are
That'd be awesome.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the movie, you pan out, and then it just turns out that was just Mars, and then we just go back to Earth. What a twist!
Zone. That's cool.
That's a really cool idea.
No, but yeah, I think like the whole like nuclear apocalypse, and then like the whole like lizard people thing, like that would just be like, I thought that was cool.
So I think the reason a
So if
lot
anybody
of
wants to make it,
80s and 90s like throwback shit is popular too now is because they didn't have that technology to reach out to each other, and that makes it scary. Does that make sense? So like
I think
So
it's,
the world got smaller.
the what?
The world got smaller.
Oh,
Like physically, like the speed of communication sped up, so like the world
Right.
got smaller for everyone. So the stuff that was scaring you, because now you have a better understanding of it, because you have access to more information, isn't necessarily scaring you anymore.
right. But when like, these kids love like Fear Street and stuff, and it all takes place in the 90s, and then one of them takes place in the 70s and stuff. And it's like when they go back in time, for some reason, old time has always been scarier. Like the fucking historical time has always been scarier.
So to play
or
off
just
what
like
he
the
said-
future is the unknown as well. Like futuristic movies, it's always like, oh, what the?
Oh
hell's
yeah, I
going
guess
on?
like Minority
Yeah.
Report. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
could be really
that
scary.
was such a cool movie.
That was a great movie.
the past is pretty unknown to these like people.
It
these
is
days,
like
too.
it's so far. Like
It's so
VHS,
foreign.
like VHS is so creepy to people. You know, not the movie VHS, but like VHS tapes and like cassettes and stuff. It has this
Creepy?
whole. It does. It has a whole creepy culture surrounding it because like they don't really know what. Like for us, like VHS was just like normal for us in the household. So.
I feel like historical horror, while it exists, is always focused on like Victorian. And it's
Ghosts
not-
are always Victorian.
Yeah, it's always Victorian.
Yeah.
Where it's like because I mean, your horror idea is fucking awesome, but I had, like, why isn't anybody doing horror based on, like, conflicts? Like, because I thought it would be really cool to do...
Like, what do you mean?
do a
Like,
horror movie based on World War One on the Eastern Front, where a bunch of guys are running into, like, German folklore.
No,
like
there
monsters
is.
and shit.
Yeah.
No, there is.
There are a couple. I forget
Have you
the
ever
name
seen
of it.
Frankenstein's Army?
Yes. I
No.
think that's,
Great
yeah.
film. It's a found footage movie that takes place during World War II, where a guy has a camera that he's doing this the entire time, and he's like, "Oh, I'm filming this for I don't even fuck." He says like a project or something because he's trying to go to college after the war.
That's
and they end up in this broken down castle that all these Nazi monster experiments were going on, and they're Dr. Frankenstein's experiments, and they're all fighting to get
I'm
out of this
writing
fucking.
this
I
down.
own it. I'll
There's-
fucking let you. Do you have a DVD player?
Yeah, I have a PlayStation.
There's
Oh,
another
yeah.
movie like something very similar to that too. And I
Actually,
forget what
a
it's
great
called.
film. There's a bunch of shit like that because like there's a lot of paranormal accounts during World War One.
Yeah.
One that creeped me out, this guy, because in 2017 all these letters were released to the public that were written by like American soldiers that were on the fucking front lines, and because it had been 100 years since the war ended, like all these things came into public domain, and there was one that creeped me out so bad. It was basically this soldier was saying he was on like a night shift, one night, and he's on guard duty, and he said he saw this giant machine collecting body parts, like on the war grounds, like piling them up and then like taking them and like picking them up, and it was like a giant like when I think of that though, I'm thinking like, okay, like what is a person from 1917, like what is their brain processing when they see, because it could have been some crazy technology, but he said it was like a machine, but it was like biomechanical the way he described it.
Well, I mean, there were planes and shit back then. So, like, you think
Tanks.
about tanks and tractors and all sorts of stuff. So it's not far out of pocket to imagine a guy knowing enough where he could be like, I mean,
No,
thinking
War of the
Worlds type
like,
shit.
Ooh, also imagine like some soldier who's just thrown into wherever the fuck, and they're like a city kid, and they've never seen a combine before, like a combine tractor. They could
That's
think
actually a good point.
like they could think that some
yeah.
farm equipment is like some crazy fucking thing too.
that's true. Yeah, could have been like a giant
Who knows?
tractor.
But there's ghost stories from every fucking conflict known to man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
It's huge in the Civil War too.
I mean, even
yeah,
in
there's
our current war.
Yeah, the global
post
war on
9/11,
terror.
yeah.
I don't remember what the Instagram page is, but it's like GWOT ghost stories or something like that. And people send stuff in, and there's a long history of the Afghani mountains. I think it's the Kush, where there's supposedly a race of giants that live in the Kush.
Oh wow.
And
fucking cool.
like there's like accounts of guys seeing them, and like there's accounts of people watching locals drag people into the hills as like sacrifices.
That's cool.
Yikes.
And guys like seeing random things that happen on on patrols and all sort of stuff, and it's
Yeah.
super neat. And then you get into UFOs. And
Oh,
that's a
God,
whole
yeah.
Other story. So like the really easy way to explain it away is stress does weird shit to people's minds.
It does,
Yeah.
The not
Lack of
easy
sleep.
way to explain it is nothing is explained.
Yeah. I think there's just a lot of rules to our Earth that we still don't really understand yet.
Yeah. You want to know what's even scarier than that?
What work?
The ocean.
Oh, the ocean.
fuck.
I don't even like looking at the ocean, bro.
No,
I
The
love
Abyss
the
is
ocean.
one of my favorite movies.
Great
of all time.
movie, The Abyss.
the fact that we know more about space
Yeah.
than our own fucking ocean. Is
Yep.
Yeah, we say that, but I don't know if I believe that.
We've
I-
mapped
they
it.
know.
We've mapped Mars better than the bottom of the
Yeah,
ocean.
but there is space is vast. Like
The ocean is fucking vast.
it
man.
is, but space has millions of other planets with their own oceans.
Yeah,
I mean,
supposedly.
billions. Yeah, supposedly. Okay.
Just kidding.
You know what I think is a better movie than The Abyss?
Open water.
Sphere.
What's Sphere?
Ah, fuck, I
It's
forgot
a
about
Michael
that movie.
Crichton. Basically, it's similar type of thing. This group of scientists, they find a giant sphere deep in the ocean, and it's like alien technology, and it's able to read their minds and make them hallucinate their greatest fears. It's fucking terrifying, dude. There's a scene. I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but there's a scene where this woman is in like a scuba diver suit, and she's really afraid of jellyfish, which I am too. and
Fair.
the entire suit fills with jellyfish from the inside, and it fucking suffocates her.
Oy.
It's terrifying to watch. She's screaming in pain and shit.
That's reminding me of Event Horizon.
Oh, great!
Such
a
a
love
great
that
movie.
fucking
Such a-
movie so
such
much.
a good movie, so underrated. Well, it's getting the recognition it deserves
Sure
now, but at
is.
the time it came out at a weird time.
And that was really like good visuals too for when it came out.
So Starship Troopers as well, and Starship Troopers was so misunderstood when it. Like I saw that movie in the theaters, and nobody knew it was a comedy when it came out.
that
I was
was-
like, how do you not know?
You could. I work at this huge thing about why Starship.
I know
Troopers-
you're super into Starship Troopers as well.
I love the.
Like the universe that
I
it's
read it.
in is amazing. The
what's
propaganda,
I don't remember
the book. I know you read the
The
book.
guy's name who wrote it,
I
but
can't
it's
remember.
it's a great commentary, and then
On the military.
and then they
Yeah.
promoted it the complete wrong way,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
which is hysterical.
Yeah, they sure did. Well, it was the '90s as well.
Event Horizon got snubbed because it came out like at the same time as like, a bunch of huge.
Didn't it
90s
come out
movies.
around Titanic as well? Because it was
came out at the
'97,
same
and so
time.
was Titanic, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
There was Titanic, and there was one other huge movie.
Bad
that-
Boys.
at the same time.
was it Bad Boys? No, Bad Boys was like the first Bad Boys was like '94, wasn't
The
it?
first Bad Boys sucked ass.
Really? No, I like
Yes.
it. I know everybody likes Bad Boys 2 better, but I
Bad
like
Boys
it.
2 is quotable.
Bad Boys 3 is funny.
No, it's not.
I didn't even
Yeah, it
see
is. I
Bad
saw
Boys
it.
3.
It was a good. It was.
It's goofy.
It's goofy. It was good. It was very kind of self-aware too. I feel like.
Do you guys
Yes.
do you guys put headphones in it on your lunch break?
I have headphones in all day.
I haven't had a lunch break.
You have
in, like,
headphones in
4
all
weeks.
day?
Well, one, yes.
Okay. Oh, like one little ear pod.
You haven't had a lunch break in 4 weeks? Is that what you said?
No, this job I've been on. No, I haven't taken lunch.
What do you do? What do
Work
do you,
straight through it?
Yeah, I just worked through it. I have no option really. At that
Like
point.
eat on the road or?
No, I'm only working 10 minutes from my house right now, so it doesn't
shit.
really, I don't really give a shit.
So it is funny, like, because I never had lunch breaks before I worked this job, because you couldn't, like,
Well, yeah.
you only eat when you're like able to.
I
Like,
guess.
if
I
you-
mean,
Yeah,
what,
So do you just go the whole day without eating, or do you like snack during the
Oh,
day?
So every
gotta
now and again,
graze, man.
I'll get like a Cliff Bar and like coconut water, and that's probably about it. But it's just
Fuck
like, dude,
that.
it's just coffee.
Oh fuck!
Because the site I'm on has free Wawa coffee for everybody.
Ooh.
So
What?
I just been fucking drinking coffee on coffee on
that's
coffee.
wild.
Yeah.
For us, though, that would suck because I'd just be like, well, guess I'll have water.
So yeah, I know exactly. 'Cause I don't
Water
do-
it
like,
is.
set your own schedule though.
No, not really.
No, it's a job site.
Yeah, well,
job
I mean,
site
if
times.
you're a job site and you're contracted by, I guess I don't understand how a fucking job.
I
site
don't
works.
understand how that shit works. honestly.
So the job I'm on, it's a really, really big like conference room uplift. We're just changing the technology in the rooms to be like kind of smart conference
Sure,
rooms.
yeah.
Really, there's 105 rooms.
Jesus.
We're doing it in Wilmington, and we're doing some in Gaithersburg. We're doing this whole team is also working on Cambridge, UK, Barcelona. That's how big.
Barcelona.
How did we both do that?
That's how big
Fucking nerds.
the company is that we're doing this job for. Like I'm going to Maryland, Gaithersburg, Maryland next week to
I'm
oversee
sorry.
and supervise like the installs.
Gaithersburg?
Yeah,
Gay?
I think it's like close to DC, or like not close to DC, but it's like if you're going to DC and went, I'm gonna make a hard right and go like west into Maryland, it's like there. But
It's out there.
but no, my job right now is we have a team installing like they're redoing like the TVs and cameras and all that, and then I'm supposed to go in and set these systems up,
Okay.
do like proxy settings and updates and all that bullshit, and then
That means something.
yeah, and then
I don't know what it is, though.
Settings.
and then I have a set time where I have to test with the UK team, who is like they're the ones signing off.
How many
that
hours
these
are they
work.
behind?
5.
They're ahead, aren't they?
Yeah, so it's 4 out. It's 4 o'clock
They're
for them at
backwards people.
11. They want to do their last hour of the day. They want to test with me, and 11's like usually when I would go to lunch. So I'm testing with them,
lame.
and then when I'm done, it's like I can either go like sit.
They're
and
like, but
walk
don't you get to
away.
nap during the day?
I can like go walk away for a half hour
What about your crumpets?
Yeah. What about a tea break?
at 12 o'clock, or I can just say fuck it, deal with all the bullshit for the next 3 hours, and try to get out by like 3 o'clock.
What time you go in?
fair.
6?
7.
7. 7 to 3. I wish we worked 7 to 3. I think
I work 7 to 4. It's not bad.
we work
Was it like an hour
6
lunch?
to
You work 6 to 4,
4:30.
I just want to
yeah.
offset my schedule. Like I
No,
don't
4:30.
want to start work at 6 a.m.
Dude, it does suck. It sucks because we sit in a meeting for an hour every. I know he laughs every time because he knows how much I fucking hate these meetings. We sit in a meeting for an hour that should take about 5 minutes or less.
Do you literally sit down in chairs?
Sit in chairs.
I'd be sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I stare at a
couldn't
computer
do it.
screen.
Ugh.
I'm
At
writing
6
down.
a.m.?
I'm writing down things that are already written down for us because they're in a computer logged. So then we have to tell somebody who could also just look
man.
at the computer.
Yeah, but
dude.
dude,
It
my
doesn't make
experience with that
any
bullshit with
sense.
like being when I was a store manager was fucking. You would spend all this time like, and even right now, it's like I'm doing all this work, but like they still want to be spoon fed the information. Like they won't.
Yeah.
Like other store managers just were like, "But wait, what?" I'm like, "It's literally right in front of your face. Like you are like if you don't have the document open right now while we're on this conference call, like I don't know what to tell you."
I had a conversation this morning with a new coworker of mine, who's like she's like a salesperson, and we exchanged like a quick pleasantry because it was literally like 7:05 a.m. And I was like she sounded a little more like awake than I did because again 7:05 in the fucking morning, and I was like sorry if that came across like like stern like rude or something, but it's 7:00 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, like I'm barely like here right now. And I was like, well, thank God then you understand, because there are people out there who can be like, good morning.
Oh, dude.
First thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm literally like, will you shut the fuck up?
That happened to me today. I walked on the
Really?
site. I'm like tired because I didn't go to sleep early, and the fucking girl at the front desk like, "Good morning," and I'm like, "Good morning."
Yeah. Poof.
Like I haven't gotten to
Jesus.
the free Wawa coffee yet. Let me.
Yeah.
No, I was glad that we had that common ground and it was understood, because the first 2 hours of my day, I don't want to say words.
No, same, dude. And everybody likes to fucking bullshit at work for the
Can't.
first 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because we go to an hour meeting where everybody makes jokes, makes fun of each other. Everybody's getting hopped up on energy drinks and coffee and fucking bagels.
Oh yeah, it's immediate,
Donuts.
immediate caffeine,
Yeah.
immediate
I could-
caffeine and sugar.
I
Yeah.
could live with that.
And they're
but
on. They are on.
actually-
You have to be. And I'm not a caffeine drinker, so I have to wake myself up with water. And I have to be on and be able to come up with fucking comebacks and
Yeah,
all this
'cause you
shit
get-
early
you
in
get
the morning.
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
Smelling salt right before you walk
Bro,
in.
so I
Ooh.
told that
Before you
on
walk in.
the podcast. Our
So-
buddy, I just cut his hair before you guys came over.
If you use smelling salts too much, you get used to them. Like you get accustomed to it because it
Like
burns.
anything.
Just a quick-
roasts your nostrils.
Just
Yeah.
a quick one, real quick.
Quick one, yeah.
quick.
Can I get a quickie real quick?
Because it's ammonia. It burns your. It will physically,
Can't be good
chemically
for you.
burn your
it
nostrils.
will, yeah.
Does it? Never mind. It doesn't burn your brain, right?
No.
Can't snip it into your brain, can you? Is that a dumb
I
question?
mean, I feel like if you inhale ammonia, you can like.
It's got to have
can, like,
psychological
Oh.
effects eventually.
I wanted to say congratulations to
degrading.
Jay today, by the way.
What did I do?
10 years in
Oh,
the
yeah.
military today.
Well, it's a
Yeet.
little more complicated than that. But I signed my first contract 10, 11, 12.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
So
He was a Marine.
yeah,
Or is
Oh,
he? I guess once
yeah,
you're
that's
a
right.
Marine,
You
always
jumped
a Marine.
around, didn't
yeah,
you? Yeah.
I bounced a little bit.
I remember that.
And actually,
A lot of Marines go to the National Guard.
The funniest part of me doing 10 years is that he's full time now. Because we spent so many fucking conversations where he's sitting there, he's like, I can't believe you did all this time in the military. You got to get out and see this, like, and do this, all this sort of stuff. Like, I can't believe it at all. We come home for 5.5 fucking minutes, and he's like, man,
Yeah, I
that
also
was
went.
actually kind of cool.
I went right. I went.
Like,
I took 3 weeks off and went right back to cutting hair and was like, okay,
Dude,
he-
I fucking hate
It's like, weird.
everybody.
Maybe I was onto something.
No, I
Maybe
still.
sucking off the teat of Uncle Sam is actually worthwhile.
I don't know. Some days I really don't know.
Are those bad days better than a good day cutting hair? Probably.
It's way less
It's
effort.
dude. Okay, here's what drives me nuts. I'm used to being on my feet all day,
Oh, this
doing
is so
and,
interesting.
and doing, not stopping, unless I stop to wait for somebody to come in so that I can work. Here, it's like there are days like there's no work to do because you can't touch an aircraft because you can't touch it before it flies, and then the pilots don't want to fly it until like way late in the day. So you're just standing
Why is
around
that?
getting paid. It's just the way the schedule will work, or their flights, or their training schedule, or whatever.
I
they-
don't want to get into that.
It's a process. I wouldn't even know how
Is
to.
there nothing from the day before that you guys can work on?
Well, that's the thing. Is like it'll be like, okay, so say
They probably did it
an
already.
easy way to explain
Yeah.
this is say something flew tonight.
yeah.
Tomorrow morning we have to do a daily check on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you have
makes
to like
sense.
check it over, make sure nothing fell off, or,
Sure,
and,
yeah.
or there's oil levels and hydraulic fluid levels are good and all that stuff. So once that's done, now that bird is ready to be flown again, as long as it passes everything. And then on top of that, there's other maintenance you have to do to other birds that maybe aren't flying. But a lot of times, like especially like a weekend like this, it's a drill weekend for us, so we have to work fucking 6 days straight or whatever. And so we can't, like, they wanted to fly like everything today.
Yeah.
And tomorrow and Sunday, they want to fly everything available.
So is that
we
what you had to
can't-
rush for today? Was like,
Yeah.
there's nothing until they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we want all this.
Yeah, and then they were like,
well, shit.
yeah, because like,
Well, because they bank on having stuff that's available, and then at the tail end of the day, if they start to figure out that certain things that they're banking on aren't gonna fucking happen, and then you have to jump through your ass to make it happen. But actually, like you probably, with working with like internationally and stuff, and multiple different places tracking what's going on, you'll understand this part where it's our readiness, like our statuses, are tracked nationally. So because everything is in a system, like there's a group of people that is like staring at you and making sure, like, and double checking how good you are across your board for everything that's up. So if we don't fix it one day and it's down, like it's you can't fly it at all, then that aircraft gets tracked as a non-flyable aircraft, and it hits us on our readiness, and those statistics are tracked year long.
not only that, it becomes actually illegal
It's actually
to fly
kind of,
it.
it's fucked up. It's like weird. It's like KPIs, like sales, like with like retail
Oh,
and stuff like that.
okay,
It's like,
okay.
yeah, it's like, oh, well, you weren't converting like your customers at this rate, but then like you'll kill it one day.
Dude,
You'll
yeah,
kill it for
yeah.
like, you'll kill it for like a
And
month and a
basically,
half.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's
That's a
like,
very good comparison.
And it's kind of like sales too, where you absolutely have no control over it.
No, yeah.
Because you can do everything correctly. You had the same day that the guy that you had the day before, and because of the fucking construction on the street in front of your store, you're gonna have a completely different day.
Yep.
Where it's like for us,
I remember that shit.
fucking we can launch 4 aircraft and 3 of them run into birds, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
whoop-de fucking
Which
do, we're
happens
not doing
all
it.
the time. Bird strikes happen a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty, but it also translates to, I've literally, been paid for 10 hours to play ping pong for an
Paid
hour.
well, by the way.
Yeah, play ping pong for an hour, work out for an hour, and watch TikToks for the remaining 7.
Nice.
Not
yeah,
bad.
and see, I can't do that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie though.
I'm
He's
fuck-
not.
I'm
He
so-
he can do it.
No,
he is incapable.
No,
No, that's not how my brain works.
I did it the other day because my job
I've done
on
it
this
too.
site is to literally to set up these rooms and to test them. If there is nothing to do in that regard, I'm burning time. I'm
Yeah.
just doing nothing. I left at like 12 o'clock the other
See,
day because there was nothing for us to do
Fuck
because the global
yeah.
team was like, hey, I know you only have 10 more rooms to do, but we're going to pause because political bullshit with like an executive or some shit. I can't remember what happened, but we paused for a couple of days, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving now. I'm like, it's 12 o'clock. I was like, I'm leaving. Like, if you guys need me, if I need to come back, I'm 10 minutes away. I'll be back. But I literally went home, and then I got home, and then like I had to do a bunch of admin bullshit, so I had to get on my laptop and like do like spreadsheets.
Yeah, but at least you were at
shit.
home.
But see, I hate being at home and working. though.
Me
okay.
fucking too.
I-
Yeah, and I would
hate
way
it.
rather be at home and working.
The reason for it is already after like a long day of work, I come home and like it's hard for me. Like today, like it was like the only reason I think I even went and worked on music today was because like last night my computer was being like an asshole and like wouldn't load like my DAW, so I couldn't like bounce the session I did just to like listen to it today.
Some days computers.
And because I didn't do that, I was like, all right, well, I want to get in and do that. I want to go like bounce it and just check it out. And I was like, fuck it, I'm already here. Let me do that. But it's so hard for me, like when I get home, to like have that drive to be like,
Okay.
I just want to like sit down, relax, decompress, and then I just get kind of stuck in decompress mode, where like kind of veg out and just like watch TikToks
I think
or
that's
some
most
bullshit.
of everybody here.
Yeah,
That's
but
a human thing.
Except I
Except him,
when I
'cause
have my
he's-
haunted house stuff, because I get home, I work out, and then
And-
That's
You-
Newton's third law, right?
Yeah,
An
you just
object at
wanna-
rest tends to stay at rest.
Exactly. But by the time I get
Isn't it
home,
the opposite
that's
of
the
inertia?
case. And the whole thing about like working at home, like if I was working at home and then like I'm done work and then it's like, cool, I want to play music, and I'm like, oh, I'm in the room where I was just working for 8 hours straight, and my guitar is in the same room, like,
drive me
I'm not
crazy.
gonna want to be in that fucking room.
So you want like a clear delineation, like
Yes.
work and home.
Yep.
God, that's
I
I
don't.
get
I
that.
do not want my work or my home to be work. I don't
makes
want to be
sense.
reminded of work at
Your
home.
office would have to be so separate.
I would need like money because I would need a big house. I would need like a full basement where like I could have a bathroom.
Yeah,
I would. I
furnish it.
literally. I don't even want my kitchen. Like I want a bathroom. I want a work bathroom, work kitchen, and a work office.
Pack your lunch break
Like a
downstairs.
small room. Like it doesn't have to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a huge space. But like something like if like this kitchen, and,
Like a
it
mother-in-law
wasn't this,
suite,
wasn't
basically.
this big, and like say where your fridge was
Sounds
like
like you
a
just need a
bathroom.
garage.
No, because then my garage is my garage. Like I would want to put other things in there. Like I would want to like put my tools and like if I
Oh,
want to like build,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I don't want. I would
Yeah.
literally need a completely separate. Like I can close a door and be like, "That's
gone.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That's behind me until Monday," and then
Makes
like I
sense.
can like focus.
I'm right there with you. I could not work and like
Live.
habitate
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same space that I
It's-
work in.
It's like don't shit where you don't eat where you shit. Don't shit
We
where
were
you
talking
eat.
about that today. Jay
In a
loves to shit.
completely different.
Jay loves to eat where he shits.
Completely different concept.
Yes.
Sometimes he eats
So
while he shits.
can we get into that without getting into the big thing? We won't talk about that on the
ask a
podcast.
question.
Why do you like to date military girls?
Whoa.
No, it's not. Dude, we're friends. I mean, I can ask that, right?
Okay,
We're
so
amongst friends, right?
Because I dropped it, and then 10 minutes later he goes, and another thing,
Yeah,
and he ran up to me and was like,
I've been thinking about it since you brought it up,
I'm
and
sure
I think
you
that
have.
like it's because what do you do during your formative years? Like your formative years, and I'm going to include like
different. See, all three of us, we played in bands, like way different from what you did.
Right, so I'm going to include like although formative years for like most people is probably going to be as a child, but your adult formative years are 18 to 22, like hands
Yeah,
down,
sure, whatever,
like
yeah.
I did some dumb shit between 18 and 22.
Of
Mine was
Yeah.
more of 19 to 27.
Okay,
Yesterday.
What time is it?
I was from 18 until I walked in the front door. Okay,
Yeah.
go. But my formative years were spent basically only around military people.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I went, basic training through all the training, and then
Yeah, because you were like 17, right?
so immediately overseas. So like I
Oh,
turned.
you went to Japan.
I spent basically a year in training in the United States, and then the other 3 years of my enlistment were in Asia between Japan and Korea. So the time that I was figuring out what the hell I wanted in a woman,
Yeah.
I had people that didn't speak good English
Yeah. That's
and other military people.
okay.
So I did the whole local dating thing. It wasn't great. I mean, I had cool experiences and everything, but at those bases where they've been around for such a long time, the women that want anything to do with Americans, you don't want to spend
Right,
time
right. No,
with,
I get that.
So you end up with the military woman, and you're pining after that. So then I'm just gonna blame it completely on
Yeah, I don't know if I can.
so that's where I'm gonna shove it. Is on the nurture thing, because I think you through guys
It's-
being in bands,
Well, we like rocker girls. I mean, we do.
right?
Well, what's funny?
We like goth chicks and
No,
rocker
not
girls.
really. What's funny about that is like
I couldn't really, yeah.
I don't
Bullshit,
have I don't have a type, but like I my whole thing is like, oh, you're fun to hang out with. Like, first off, obviously, like, everybody's a fucking piece of shit.
right.
I'm attracted to you. Like, that's what's gonna get you like
Right.
in the door.
Yeah, I don't have
So
a
you're-
type per
you're
se.
attracted to her being a piece of shit. Is that what you're?
Yeah, it could be that.
Okay.
I don't have a type. I don't have a type per se, but the same.
Your
like,
girlfriends have all looked pretty similar.
I was getting there.
I've
got
only,
their,
I was gonna say
I've only dated
ones-
like 3 girls that like fit that profile.
He gets.
I'm sorry.
Go on, get there.
I won't.
Get there. Let's go.
I'm not
there.
going.
Let's
I'm
go.
not going.
Come on.
Let's go.
Where are we going?
Except for that one super racist girl you dated for like a day that we drove around. That was fucking hilarious. Have I talked about that on the podcast?
think
I
you-
would
you-
hardly
you
call
did.
that dating somebody.
Okay, yeah,
'Cause
you
I think
met
you-
her, and she was already fucking some other guy that was living at their house who was homeless. Remember that? Me and my girlfriend at the time and Tommy. This was
she from
back. This is
Newcastle?
like no, she was from the south.
Chichester?
No,
so
like Alabama.
I'll explain this girl. This is so fucking funny. So I pick up Tommy 2 Streets. This is like I said. This is what 2010. I want to say.
Before.
No, I think it was. It
It was
2010.
pre-injury.
It was
This
pre
is a MySpace girlfriend?
Well, yeah. Which injury?
The big one.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't before your high school injury. It was when you played in Coffin Fly.
You know the story. Why don't you tell it?
Well, I do. Let the guy without the brain injury tell the story of when it was. So
That's the one we're talking about, right?
That's what I was talking about.
no, because I didn't even start Coffin Fly till I was in college. So, and this is when you were playing in Coffin Fly. So this must have been 2010.
Sure.
It was the summer. It was the
The
summer. So anyway,
the other injury was like 2012.
no, his other injury was 2015.
2015.
But he did get in another car
You guys need
accident.
to write the fucking dates on the walls.
But
of,
because I remember
injuries.
this because
I don't need.
No,
to do
there's
anything.
there's already a whole podcast about this, but I'm not a Patreon subscriber, so I couldn't listen to it.
Oh,
I can send you the YouTube link. It exists.
I would
So-
actually love that, actually.
So anyway, me and my girlfriend at the time, we pick up Tommy, and we're all gonna go to this bridge and jump off into this fucking swamp. And it's right near Stanton. You live from down south.
It's literally
on
right
4.
down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
it
front of
is.
Delaware Park.
It is
yeah,
there.
It's
Yeah.
right, yeah,
I know
right behind
exactly
there.
what you're
Okay, so we used to go there and jump off this bridge.
It's a
into the
creek.
fucking swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was weird when you hit the bottom. The sand is so soft, and the seaweed. You're like, it feels.
I
Like
don't remember
toxic
seaweed.
waste.
I remember lots of sand and lots of rocks. It's a creek. It's not a swamp.
8 months out of the year, there are Hispanic people having a cookout.
Yep.
Is there over
Yeah,
there?
100%.
Because there's
Yep.
also when we were there, weren't there like
There was all
KKK
kinds of people there.
people meeting up down there? That's what we
No.
always heard. Oh, okay,
I didn't hear that.
So anyway,
It's a mixed
we
bag.
we pick up this girl, and she starts telling us all about this guy that she's like in love with, even though she's supposed to be on a date with Tom. And
It's still not a date. We hung out the one time. He's calling it a date like I dated the girl. I don't understand this.
so anyway, we go to her like weird apartment. It's like her. What was it? Her and her mom lived there.
I think
they were
I
living.
think she lived with a friend or something.
No, I don't know what was going on. They were living in like it was dirty as fuck. There was like pizza like boxes all over the place and shit.
It was in that weird no man's land between Christiana and Bear.
yeah. And
So that says enough.
and
right
this
there.
like
Like off of 40?
yes, exactly
Yep,
there.
I know exactly what
This-
trailer park you're talking about.
it was like an apartment.
It was an apartment
complex.
complex, but it may as well have been.
And they lived on like the ground floor of an apartment, I want to say, right? And so we went into their house, and there was the guy she was talking about. I thought this guy was going to be like Superman. We get there, he's like this shitty, drugged out, like scene
Yeah,
kid,
just some shitty
covered in
kid.
like real shitty tattoos, of course, right? With giant ear gauge, like the epitome of like guys who were using women in the year 2010.
Pop punk kid.
Yeah, a pop punk
picture
kid.
one.
Yeah, a pop punk kid who was probably
What's fucked up about this? What's fucked up about this state and the scene from back in the day? I probably know who you're talking about. Like,
I'll do you one
maybe?
better. He rode BMX bikes. So
I know exactly who you're
wait,
talking about.
wait, really? You actually knew who this guy
Oh,
was?
yeah, I knew he was.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was also from the state she was from.
Damn, man, what do you know?
No, is he from Lower Delaware?
I don't know.
Oh, never mind.
So we get
I love
there,
that dude. I'm a
and
fan of him right now.
basically it was one of those things where like, okay, hon, I'll see you later. Like kisses him goodbye and then leaves with Tom.
And I was like,
Like you ever see that in like shows or movies where like
Okay.
the girl that like a guy wants to date lives with a dude roommate or whatever, and they have like they're like way too comfortable together. So anyway, that was fucking weird. So we're driving, and she starts telling this story about how she misses her home state because she felt so safe because
she's from Alabama
Yeah.
originally. Keep that in
because
mind.
Out of the frying
she
pan
was in
into the
school.
fry-
Quite
She was
literally.
in school one day, and a white girl and a black guy walked in holding hands, and a bunch of white guys jumped them, and she goes, "I felt so safe." And
She like that, too.
Me and my girlfriend at the time, we looked at each other, and fucking Tom's in the back, just like looking forward, like holy fuck, what have I gotten myself into?
She talked like human mud.
Yeah, she did.
That was the accent.
Anyway, other than that, it ended up being a lovely day of jumping into.
We
a
jumped
creek.
off the
Yeah.
jumped off the bridge a little bit into some water, and then we all
and-
went our separate
and
ways.
then he never saw her
and
again.
I never spoke to her
You should
again.
have taken her to Conowingo and just pushed her. It sounds like you should have. Fucking done.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
God damn.
The world
I
would
think
have been
Capano did that, right?
the world would have been
Hey, rolled her up in the
one
carpet.
less dum.
Yeah.
I just
sure.
can't believe she was like, yeah, there's a mixed couple, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
hope they get
were,
punched.
They were beating the tar out of that boy, and I felt so. She called him a boy. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
I felt so safe. I was
Yeah.
like,
fucking wild.
And him and his girlfriend at the time were looking at each other like they just witnessed a death.
Dude,
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy part is? Like, that is still the attitude in Alabama.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
probably.
That makes
No,
sense. It tracks.
I spent like about 2 months down there for the fucking army.
Oh,
And,
which part?
So I was in Dothan, and
Dump. A fucking.
What's a dope?
What a dump.
Dothan is Fort Rucker. For
Oh,
you.
Professional skateboarder Jamie Thomas is from there. My favorite skater.
It's
That's
pretty
all it
dumpy.
has going
it's
for
pretty
it.
dumpy. It has a pretty good roll. What do you call it? What's the sport where all the lesbians go in a circle?
Roller derby.
There you go.
roller derby. Wait, what?
Pretty good roller derby team.
I love roller derby.
I do too, but I couldn't remember the name, and I knew if I said that, all three of you would know exactly what I was talking
Sure
about.
did.
What do you call it? So we went into Lower Alabama, and and we did this like river float. You get in the like inner tube, you bring a cooler full of beer, you float down the river for like 3 hours, and it's me and one of my buddies from high school who happened to be in flight school at the time, and 2 of his buddies, and we're just floating down the river, and all of a sudden it's a group of college kids, and they had some hot women, and us being military guys, we're all like, okay, well, let's.
We're gonna go take their women now.
We're gonna go roll over there.
Yeah.
And this was like.
I'll be taking this.
Yeah.
It was like
Like the military.
it was like a Family Guy transition where we were talking about something that bothered us, and this girl literally turned around and went, "You know what bothers me? N-word."
Oh,
Like that was the context. There was nothing. It wasn't a joke. Nothing at all. And none of her friends like thought anything about it. They literally turned around and started agreeing with her. And I was sitting there. I was like, okay, well, we'll just leave these women here
In front of God and everybody.
Bro, I was like, I was floored. Well, I was floating, so I wasn't floored, but
You're grounded.
yeah, something like that, man. Like I was just, you always have to get these reminders that people still fucking suck.
Yep.
yeah.
But
Oh God.
Did you sleep with those women?
no,
They
Oh.
left.
Oh yeah.
I would have
alright.
left too.
I'm just saying.
no, I just drank a shitload more beer. And if you've never drank beer on a river as you're floating down it, your equilibrium is screwed up. So I thought I was fine until I put 1 foot on the ramp
ground.
to get out of the water.
Yep.
And immediately threw my keys at one of the other kids and was like, I can't.
That's
was-
actually the only DUI I got was like that. I was in Duffers and it was dark, and I was like,
Which Duffers?
the one on Route 1.
Yeah.
It was dark, and I was like, oh, I'm fine. I literally, what's really fucked up is I met up with Ross. Mm-hmm. It was about a year or so after he had fired me from Guitar Center, and like we like kind of like hung out to like bury the hatchet, kind of. It was a great fucking night, but I was fine, and then I was on Route 1, and as soon as I hit the car dealerships where those fucking spotlights were hitting me, I was like, I'm drunk. And
Oh, no.
I did the right thing. I pulled over immediately, but wasn't.
Cop saw you.
Cop. Well, no, he didn't see me. He came to check on me. He was like, "Oh, is everything all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, everything's fine." He's like, "You been drinking?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have."
Was the car on?
Yes, because it was
Fuck.
fucking dead of winter,
Yep.
and I was driving a fucking '99 Jetta, and I was like trying to stay warm. So,
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Fuck,
Damn.
that stinks.
happens.
That Duffers was a hang spot at one of my old jobs too, up on 202. That's funny.
Wait,
Well, that's
what?
that's what we did. It was the Post at Guitar Center. It was the Mexican Post across the street,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it was Duffers when like everyone's like, "Let's get drunk." Like we would go to Duffers, but
Yeah. After big work meetings, every now and again, they'd be like, after party at Duffers, and I would go shoot pool and go home. It was cool.
it's like 15 minutes. Like
What happens
from
when
202
you?
that-
What happens
like,
when you
up
get a
that way.
DUI? Don't you have like a $10,000 fine and like your license
It
gets
got,
taken
it got,
away?
it got
Yes
worse
and-
recently.
Yes and no. So it depends on is it your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So mine was I was in Pennsylvania. So
Right,
Pennsylvania
it's
is
right over the
actually a
border.
little different. So they have 3 different tiers of DUI, which marijuana is an automatic maximum penalty, which I think is a little fucking stupid. Because
Even now? It's like
I don't
that?
know about now.
It's not
Quakers
like that.
up there.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
true.
I
It's
don't
not
know
like
about
that in the
now.
city of
Are
Philadelphia.
there still Quakers?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Oh.
But oh shit. It was weird since it was my first one. I was in. I think it was. I was still within first tier. I wasn't like wasted. Like I was drunk, but my fines I want to say were was a couple $1,000s.
What year was this?
I want to say 2013, 14
Yeah,
ish.
It's gotten even worse since then too.
I did what's called ARD, which is what happened was my license was suspended for 2 months, but it was only suspended in Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania cannot revoke your license privileges in the state of Delaware because like
Not
apparently
the same
they don't like No, some states can. Apparently. So like if I lived in I think Jersey, I would have been fucked. Like I couldn't drive at all. But I was like, all right, cool. So just don't drive in Pennsylvania. Like I can do that for 2 fucking months or however long it was. But I also had to do, I think, I want to say it was like 50 hours of community service. I did some fucked up shit actually for community service. We could talk about that.
What'd you do?
Some of it was just super easy, where we would go to like a fucking nursing home in Delco and just literally just wait with the maintenance people, and they're like, "All right, well, we gotta go clean some shit out," and like we would just go empty out a wing of like or move shit around. The last one was we were working with I forget the name of the company, but like they split us up, and it was a bunch of like Section 8 housing that was like bought up.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing like, hey, who can spackle? And I was like, I can spackle, but like not good. And I was like, I'm not gonna say shit, whatever. So like they took a bunch of dudes, and like they were like, I talked to them like later and like in the van, they're like, dude, we fucking spackled the holes in like an hour and just sat in the house just like listening to music and like smoking cigarettes. And I was like, fuck, that sounds so sick, because we went to a fucking block of houses in Chester and had to clean shit out of houses. Like, dude, the one house we were in was fucking disgusting. There was needles on the floor, rusty spoons, baby diapers under the bed. I'm pretty sure there was a dead cat somewhere. Just food. It was just
like hoarders and shit.
Disgusting.
Like
it was like a house that was like, it was like a junkie house that I think people were squatting in, and we had to clean it out. And it was fucking. I literally got home, and it was cold as shit out. And I got home. I literally, I think I borrowed a trash bag, put it over my seat. And by the time I got home, when I got home, I took the trash bag off. I got butt naked, like not butt naked, down to my boxers, out front of my house, threw everything out immediately. And then like went inside and showered.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I had to do that, and then that was really it. And then it was expunged. So like if I were to get pulled over, like it doesn't show up on my record that I got a DUI or anything.
Oh wow.
It shows up like if a cop were to like pull me over for another DUI, I'd be like, this is your second. I'm like, nope, no, it's my like, no, but
I don't know why they even bother saying that it's expunged, because it's really not.
It's all it really means is that like if my job wanted to do a background check on me, they wouldn't see it. But it's like, dude, I was fucking dumb. I was 22.
It's like a
21, 22, and it wasn't even that dumb of a thing to do. Yeah, was it dumb to like drink and drive like as much as I did? Yes, but like
once you realized you were drunk, you pulled over.
Even the cops were like, you did the right thing. You just should have never. They were like, you did the right thing. You did it, but you shouldn't have left. And I was like, I'm aware of that now. Like I know. Like I know I did. I did it wrong. So
I got my license suspended one time too, and had to also do community service as part of the thing to get it back.
Why'd you get suspended?
My
When
license.
you flipped your car?
No, my license was suspended because I was pulled over going 97 in a 55.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, that's like
Those
not
numbers
even.
up.
That's Yeah. Well, it was like it was on the stretch of 95, like after the city of Philadelphia, like exit 35, 6, 37, like way up there.
Ticketing people on 95
It's
is
ridiculous.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's like the Jersey Turnpike. There aren't any rules. It's the East Coast Autobahn.
So I was going that fast. My license was suspended for a month. And then for 3 months, I could only drive between certain hours of the day, like 9 to 5.
like your Cinderella license
like
again?
just to work, basically.
But it was only for 4 months. Yes, and only to go to work.
Right.
And I had to do community service, and I got hooked up with this person who has a farm in like Odessa. And all I had to do was literally drive around with a tractor. And like
Kind of ironic they made you try.
I was literally going to say that.
Like you're not allowed to drive, but here, go drive to this farm and then drive this tractor and then drive home.
All the way in Odessa.
And yeah, I just picked up weeds and then I was done. It was really fucking easy, and I would do it again.
I never got in trouble, but I used to just like do community service out of the good of my heart. And I used to help out at this halfway house in Newark called the Amaze House. And that was really fucking sad because it was like a place for like families that were like, it wasn't just people. It was like parents that were like recovering or coming out of prison, and their kids were there too. And these parents were just like struggling and all fucked up, and like I'd have to help the kids with the homework and cook food for them and stuff.
Yeah, man. Addicts have families. It's very sad.
It is
Yeah.
sad. Yeah, I used to ride down 4th Street every day on my way to work, and I would see parents with kids in hand doing drug deals.
Yeah.
I was like,
Sure.
fuck, dude, that kid doesn't have a
I
chance.
see that shit all the time. So.
Yeah.
Dude, I see.
That's everyday shit.
Yep.
I actually saw it going to I forget where in Lower Delaware, but like we're on 13. That like fuck, what is the name of that? Remember, you know, on 13 where you like speed limit's like 50 and then it goes to 25.
Yep. I
Yes.
know exactly what
I
that
do know
that gas
exactly
station. I
fucking
fucking
where
It's a
It's
Sunoco.
like right before Townsend.
Yep.
It's a Sunoco. I know
yeah.
exactly where it is. Yep.
Dude, I literally we pulled it up there to get ice before we got to our friend's house that we were going to, and this car pulls up, and I see they're smoking a blunt. Like,
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. 12-year-old and like 6-year-old in the back seat. Like, dude, like I know like weed isn't gonna kill the kid,
But still.
but like like I wouldn't even do
In
it
the
with a
car?
I wouldn't even do it with a cigarette. Like,
No.
and well, cigarettes are actually I think worse than
Yeah,
weed for
probably.
especially, but like.
But just smoke in general.
The thing
it's
is
just
like,
shitty.
yeah, it's not going to kill him, and it's like, really, it's not. I don't think weed. I think drinking is worse than weed.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah.
is.
And I would I know you guys are edge, but like, I would 100%. If I didn't have to get
that.
drug tested, I would smoke weed for like the benefits of like, oh, I can go to sleep and stay asleep.
Oh,
or
dude, I would love to take CBD on
Yeah.
a regular basis.
Oh yeah, we can't have any of that in our
you can't even have
system.
CBD.
No, they test for it now.
They test
Really?
for everything.
CBD.
Not that I would
Yeah.
anyway,
CBD is
but
like
it's-
not even like there's
I
no
know, dude,
psychoactive
but-
properties.
Yeah.
There's no like.
Bro, it doesn't make any fucking
It's
sense. The
medicine.
things that the army cares about, dude. The army, so the
Dude,
army,
there's like lotions with CBD in it.
the
Yeah, you
army
can't
has
use any of it.
contracts with the shittiest food on the planet. Like the only food that they have on bases is Burger King and
Sounds
Pizza-
like corporate.
Pizza Hut.
Sounds like corporate greed.
Pizza Hut,
Yeah, Burger King, Pizza Hut,
Long John Silver's.
Long John Silver's,
Yeah.
Charlie's Cheesesteaks,
Which
Like,
abomination.
I've never even heard its name before.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Popeyes,
Yeah,
Big in the
Popeyes,
Midwest.
and there's another one that I'm forgetting. Oh, at Chili's
but like,
and Macaroni Grill.
but what I'm saying is, they don't. The whole army is addicted to fucking nicotine and energy drinks.
I
Yeah.
think
He's
that's
drinking one right now.
Yeah.
In fact, he drank so many, Monster gave him a giant boombox.
Boombox. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. So, and then they give a
click the
shit
tabs?
about
Yeah,
a shit about
I
CBD
cut it down.
pills,
Right.
I
so
cut
that
it down to 2 a day.
so that soldiers could fall asleep. Like that's what like they would fucking lose their goddamn minds.
Like I get the
I don't.
get weed. Dude, CBD.
I don't
yeah,
get
it's just it's so stupid, dude.
I
but-
honestly don't get weed
It's,
anymore.
No, but
people
please.
that,
But, like,
it's people that don't understand what it is.
But you guys
and
can go drink.
and don't want to understand.
but you can
Yeah.
go. You can go get fucked up on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
booze
please
right
go
now.
to the bar and kill yourself with alcohol.
Let me ask you a question. Who is running our country?
Dumbasses.
Oh, I was going to say boomers.
Boom.
that too.
Yeah, they are.
Dumbass boomers.
So
They're still brainwashed by the old propaganda,
Yeah.
dude.
boomers,
Yeah.
military boomers. Military. And then it's like, so the most progressive companies in the world are well, and I say that progressive is not like a progressive for like political thing, but progressive isn't like
Literally progressing.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
cool work environments. They're actually decent to work for. They have nice benefits. All this sort of stuff are run by 20 somethings.
That's
They're run
right.
by 30 somethings.
Yeah.
We're run by Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a different. I have a different perspective. Like I would love to like have that cool work environment, but like there's an extent to it where I feel like it's like kind of like conditioning where it's like, oh yeah, you can bring your pet into work so you can work more and be with your pet. Oh, we're gonna have all this
Good
fun
point.
stuff for you to do that way, so you can just kind of forget about work for a minute, but you're still working. Like you're still like it's just like this way.
It is
true.
kind of a way to trick people into being like, oh, I'll put in a 11-hour day. Why
Like
not?
people who
My
work
dog's
for
here.
Bark, they're like, oh, I can bring my dog in and hang out with dogs and stuff.
Chewy.
And it's like,
Yeah.
but it's like they're doing that, so like you don't have an excuse to not come to the office.
Right.
I feel like there were companies that did cool stuff at the office that were also paying well with good benefits. And then
Which
there
is
were a bunch,
cool.
there were a bunch
Yeah.
of companies that tried to do it without the pay and benefits thing and just did the ping pong tables.
Yeah.
and like, the massage chairs and stuff like that, but didn't actually pay a prevailing wage. And it was like
Yep.
it didn't work well, and they're like, you know what? We shouldn't have bought the fucking ping pong tables.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, like the site I'm on now, they have like it's actually. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like it's treadmills,
Okay.
but the
behind the desks.
But the treadmill is like a desk.
yeah,
So you can put your laptop up there and like respond to emails or take a conference call or
That's
something.
pretty
But like,
cool.
yeah, it's a new thing.
like that's. I mean, if you got to take,
Does it power the
call,
laptop? Like
Yeah,
the
I think
more
so.
you
yeah,
walk.
Does
it really?
That would be sick. I have
Oh,
no clue.
okay.
That would be sick.
That's the-
Carbon offset your workday. I'm not.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
I
I thought about doing it today. Like when I had to do like a quick call. I was like, what if I just like sat on it and like, cause like my knees have been hurting, but like I realized if I go skate and push,
Yeah.
like my knee works. I was like, what if I took one foot off and was just like pushing like with like my push
Yo,
foot?
after haunt season, I'm fucking I'm skating again. So
But,
let's go.
You're just behind a desk all day on a treadmill on a skateboard on top of the treadmill.
that would be sick. I would do that. I would actually be like, yeah, fucking sit here on this conference call and just like just practice.
That's a George Jetson move right there.
Like, try to practice like tray flips and then just fucking just eat shit in the middle of a call.
Blow your face out on the laptop.
You know, it's funny about the conditioning thing you bring up because have you seen the commercials for gamer compounds by any chance?
No.
Do you
What's
guys
a
know?
gamer
Do you guys know what that
compound?
is?
No.
So
Is it like a gamer word?
no. So this is
Gamergate.
these are real things that are popping up everywhere now, especially like the West Coast. They're giant compounds, like imagine warehouses that they turned into like cool like spots for young people to live and also play games in.
Oh, so
they
like streamer.
yeah.
bullshit.
So all they do all day long is stream.
So it's like real world, but for streamers.
Yes, but they don't really just. Yeah, you could say it like that. Yeah, but they're just trying to get these kids that are like not even like 18
Yeah.
yet. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
these kids are.
Well, there's a lot of money in streaming,
there,
which
there is, yeah, but it's funny. Like you're just becoming more plugged in, like the
That
fucking
started with
Matrix. That's
Vine.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That started with Vine because Vine, the app was named after the street that like the app developer's office was in.
Oh,
like
Vine
Street
in
is out in
fucking-
LA.
In LA, yeah. I know.
And
Hollywood and Vine, yeah.
they made a whole
been
bunch
there.
of money, and they invited all these creators to come to be close to the thing, and then all of these creators moved into one apartment building on Vine Street. So that's why if I should, the names aren't probably going to make sense to you, but if I showed you faces of all of these people, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen this guy on the internet.
I know I know them by name, and like they're like they're the creators that I fucking like. At
mean,
first, I was like, "Oh, they're funny," like King Bach and shit
Yeah,
like
King
that.
Bach, Amanda
Thought
Cerny,
like
like,
I
all
thought
that
they
sort of
were
shit.
funny. Like, oh, they got a couple of good ones,
Brittany Ferland.
and then it became like a shtick, and it
Yeah.
was like, dude, this is awful.
And they're all in each other's shit, and they were all self-promoting, and
Yep.
and then it became the gamer houses. So you see all these like the
Yep.
high-profile.
That was happening
gamers.
before that, though. In other forms of media, I mean, the punk scene, like in New York
Yeah,
City,
crust
like
punk houses.
everybody
absolutely.
practiced and lived in the same houses and stuff.
Yep.
But the part of it that really started with Vine was the multi promotion between everybody. So
Oh,
you-
okay.
It was
have-
influencing.
Yeah, you
That's
have
literally all like the beginning of influencing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
instant collaboration is what it became. Was you wanted to shoot a video, you walked over to your buddy's apartment, and then you guys both did it, and we both promoted it, and you
Cross
guys,
promotion.
Yeah.
Well, it creeps me out. The gamer compounds, they creep me out, man.
Well,
That's
so
like
the
cult-
thing
that's how
with
cults start.
That's the thing though about streaming though is that like I don't like watching it. Like there's like some cool shit like.
except for you, Music Gaming 12.
Well, I was literally I was gonna call him out like.
See,
that's-
and I
that's-
love streaming.
But that's where kind of where I'm getting at is like you need a shtick. Like you actually do need like a kind of like a
You need a
gimmick.
thing.
To make money in streaming, you can't just be good at the video game.
Oh
Unless
no,
you
no,
have
and
to
I don't do it to make money. I just do it because it's like fun. I play my retro games and
Which is
right, exactly.
110% okay, but
Yeah.
like to like
If you're gonna make money at
to
it,
like
yeah.
make, and that's what I feel like. It is getting to that point where like streaming and like stuff like that, like gaming as like a career is getting more. It's gaining more traction than it has
Sure,
in
yeah.
the past.
Now, do you think it will eventually implode? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Probably. Well, maybe. Like,
Perhaps.
it's gonna get right. Like
right. Like there's gonna be a handful of ones that 20 years from now they're still making a living, but other than
Yeah,
that,
there's already like MLG tournaments where it's like there's rules and regulations
Sure,
and like
yeah.
all
And lots of
this.
money.
Yes. Actually, do you know Brian Wyatt? Mm-hmm. His brother was really big. Like
like famous for playing Halo. Like this motherfucker had a Benz when he was like 15.
Jeez.
And had all the Red Bull he could want to drink. He was sponsored by Red Bull at like 15. It was like fucking wild.
Yikes.
I think I heard talk of that.
Yeah.
When I was, yeah.
He's still good. Like he's still like one of the top players in like
Sure, yeah.
a certain game. I can't remember. Maybe Call of Duty now. But like, no, my point is like, yeah, like you have to have like a gimmick and you have to have like the thing to keep people coming back in order to be, I think, like marketable. And I think what's
be an entertainer.
What I feel like is happening, it's kind of like grooming kids to like
Oh yeah, 100. That's why I'm like
they're like, oh, we're gonna find our new, like I feel like they're trying to make it like
you're gonna be
a corporate thing.
They're
or,
gonna
like,
make it in sync.
Yeah.
You're the bad boy.
Yep.
You're the good guy.
And that's
skater.
weird.
Just
That is,
describe K-pop.
dude. That's so weird
Well,
how
that's-
it's like coming to
so
that
that-
point. Like it's like that whole like farming thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like weird to think of like where it's like this was something where like somebody can make thousands of dollars a week streaming. And like some corporation saw that and was like, we got to find that person and manage them. So we
Yeah,
can
but
take-
everybody does it. Look at Pacific Sunwear in the fucking early 2000s. They're like, let's just make the clothes that Bam Margera wears, and then charge thousands of
And
dollars.
then that's where they went. That's where they fucked up. They tried to like.
And you can look like a badass without actually doing badass
What
shit.
they did as
Or, you
a
know,
company is I
stuff
feel like they
that.
tried to like go into like the urban streetwear thing, but they couldn't keep up with the trends, so they just kept losing money and losing money and losing money and losing money.
I've only known Pac Sun as Pac Sun, and it just fucked me up that I just realized that it was
Pacific
Sunwear.
Sunwear? Really?
Yes, it never would have occurred to me unless you just said it. Whoa. Because I just went through my, well, why the fuck? I've never heard of that. And then I went, yes, I have. I'm retarded.
Yeah, it used to be Pacific
What's
Sunwear.
really funny is I feel like PacSun, like when it was Pacific Somewhere, we were calling it PacSun.
We always called it-
Everybody always called it
out of
PacSun.
fucking nowhere, like a fucking
just changed-
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
It was Pacific. It was
Yep.
PacSun.
Yeah.
But I don't. So, but the point that we were talking about, the fucking before I went. Anyway, no, I don't think esports like e-gaming, but esports itself has peaked yet. I think we're still a long way from it.
Yeah.
No, I think
Sure,
I think we
yeah.
are too.
It's going to be a slow rise,
But
I think.
It's getting
there.
because half of the NASCAR season is on. No, half of the NASCAR season is virtual.
Virtual.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have this. They put the drivers in simulators. And
Really?
They race.
Oh, you're saying okay? I got
Yeah.
I see what
So
you're saying.
no, it's a huge part
Wow.
of the season now. Is all of the drivers are also racing with esports guys that are like streamers and shit. So all it's going to take is a couple more instances like that where it's these big name brands that are throwing money at esports, and it's this close to mainstream.
Well,
And I think
I'll put it out
it's getting
there.
there.
Jeff Gordon can see me in GTA racing any day,
Yeah.
and I'll fucking sun him.
What's actually
That's Delaware's
interesting
boy.
is there's
Not
there's
my
people
boy.
who do like
My dad's met him a couple
full
times.
seasons of like Madden.
Yeah,
They're like, I have my team, and like there's like a league of like 15 different single players that have like Madden teams that they've built that like they have seasons, and then they have like it's kind of cool. It's like fantasy, but like
and FIFA.
FIFA's another
FIFA's
one too.
big.
Yeah. I'm assuming like NBA 2K. There's like probably
huge.
leagues like that too, because 2K is another
2K is
fucking
massive.
Do you
big
think
game.
that's gonna happen with music eventually? Like you can have a band, but it's only a band in the metaverse.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's fucking weird.
That's our dude.
I
That's
hate
our,
that.
that shit's already happening.
I'm
The
sure
metaverse
you're probably
bullshit,
right.
yeah.
There's huge bands that have never been together in the same place.
If you,
Now.
if
Really?
you, if you
Yes,
base it,
there's tons of them.
if you base it completely on how expensive shit is, how expensive like recording equipment is, and
Oh,
how
yeah.
expensive good recording. Because I guarantee when you guys started, and now you think about what it would cost to
Yeah.
get the same
Oh, dude.
setups.
I was putting a
better.
fucking distortion pedal into the microphone like 1/8" jack on my
Yep.
PC when I was younger,
Yep.
and now like
Dude, I recorded
I
on
have shit and like
I had a 4-track analog recorder. That's what I started on.
I had a tape one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. An
Tascam
analog-
4-track.
Yep, that's exactly the one I had, the Tascam. Yeah.
Yes, I mean now you get GarageBand on your phone.
Oh, I know.
The microphone in your phone is going to be
Pretty damn good.
I recorded
really
an
fucking
entire
good.
album in Kosovo.
Yeah.
In my
Yep.
sleeping bag.
I recorded a stand-up set the other night at a show. Don't tell anybody, but it sounded fucking great.
Was it your
It was
stand-up?
Tom Segura.
Oh.
No, it was a comedian I saw. I wanted to record the set for someone who couldn't be there. So,
Aw.
yeah, it was
just throw it in your
good.
pocket, press
Yeah.
record.
I literally put my phone in my pocket and recorded a voice memo, and it sounded awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Scary.
I just saw a video.
It's
As
cool.
long
but-
as you don't bootleg it out, I mean, it's fine. It's not that big a deal.
I just saw someone playing with the I forget I think Roland makes it, but the MIDI pickup for your guitar.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, this thing is. I remember when I worked at Guitar Center like 10 years ago. I was like,
sick.
that thing. I was like, it was such a cool concept, but it
So
sucked.
fucking
It sucked because
That was like-
the MIDI sequences, sequences like tones and everything that you would get from plugins just sucked. But like, dude, plugins have come so far that it's insane. Like
Dude, amp modeling and fucking
any metal band,
pedal
like,
modeling.
any metal band coming out right now,
Yeah.
obviously drums aren't recorded.
Yeah.
Or they're sampled. If they're
Or they're
recorded,
triggered.
they're just
They're
triggered out.
well, they're
Yeah.
quantized and
So
heavily sampled.
sad, yeah.
Bass.
Bass is all digital.
Bass is and there's even guitar that you can. There's programs that it
Yeah.
sounds real and sounds good, but like
Yeah.
bass is one that like is. I fucked with some of them, and I'm like, yo, this actually like sounds like you just laid down the bass track, and
Yeah.
but it's insane because 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Shit like that existed, and I've tried because I didn't have a bass 10 years ago, and I was like, well, I need something to like make this like,
Yeah.
shitty recording sound cool, and like,
Dude, I record everything on my iPad. I'll play the bass on the iPad just because I got no bass lines, and and it sounds awesome.
It is
sounds
insane
great.
how far it's come in like 10
Yeah.
years.
Man.
You don't even need you literally do not even need to know how to play an instrument to like start.
Which
like,
is kind of fucking sad.
yeah.
Like, it's like people love like fucking Post Malone and shit. I'm like, dude, this.
Yeah, he can actually play instruments.
That's right.
He's a
wasn't
legit
he
actually,
playing
yeah.
guitar.
If you're
before?
gonna shit on somebody, at least pick somebody who isn't actually talented.
Yeah, he's
'Cause
like
he's very
he's
talented.
highly
He's okay.
talented.
He's okay.
I don't know how
He has
talented
no
he is at
idea.
guitar because
No, I have. I actually gave it a shot, and I was
Okay.
like, I don't get it.
his
but
extent of like me watching him play guitar was him play Nirvana songs.
Right, I know.
Who
Exactly.
can't
but-
play Nirvana songs?
No, I know.
Like,
But to play them all
Okay.
well,
no, no. What pisses me off
That's
is
like
when I
winning
see
the. Nah, never mind.
when I see somebody like you like smells like Teen Spirit. Well, this is how you're playing it wrong, and they add all these like
Dude, I
little
know.
nuances. I'm like, do you realize he didn't mean to do those on the
No, I know.
recordings, right? Like he just was a shitty guitarist like me,
Also,
and
also
didn't have
when you
control. Like,
over analyzing songs on YouTube, like, can suck my fucking whole dick. Like, that shit is so annoying, dude.
oh my god, oh fuck.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know.
How much time we got? Because
I don't know because I gotta go to bed soon. We have drill tomorrow. Like,
I
we
have to wake
early.
up early too.
Okay,
I
all
gotta
right.
piss. But
All
like,
right.
how long have we been doing this?
No,
plenty.
yeah, we're good to go.
Ah, damn it.
I wanted to do a
Next
fake
episode.
interview with you guys, but we'll do it next week. Actually,
Fake interview.
yeah, that's
Fake
that's a new segment that we have.
Fake interviews or just interviews?
Well, it would be like I would make up a place where you would work, and then I would interview you and see how well you would do in the interview. Tom did terrible.
Oh, so you're talking about like just like interviewing me for a job
Yes.
that doesn't
Yes.
exist.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant like an interview, like asking about my life. I'm like, this is not like what this
No,
we
fuck
did
your
already. Like,
I've had one interview in my entire fucking life.
That's fucking weird.
all right, since
job.
we're gonna end this soon, I'm gonna take a piss,
All right.
and I do want to put like a little bird in the ear, because this is something
What?
I feel like I want you guys to
bird?
talk. I wanted you guys to talk about this for so long.
Okay.
Quiet quitting, and like your thoughts on like
where,
what that
like,
is.
do you mean how the new generation quits?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I think it's great and
That's-
it's smart.
It's fucking weird to me. I don't like it.
No, so how I look at it is, I hate the term quiet quitting because it's not.
I've never heard that
It's
term.
not
That makes
it's not
sense.
an accurate
It's
term.
not quiet quitting. It's literally job description.
Yep.
It is you doing your job description without.
And that's it.
That's
Now, as somebody who was a manager and like promoted people based on they've been stepping up, they've been taking shit into their own hands and like taking on more responsibility when they don't need to, like stepping in where they don't need to. I want to give them the ball and see what they can do. Like that's what I would always do, like promote.
Yeah, sure.
I think
Now you can still see that. Like there's people I work with now, I'm like, they're great. They're great at what they do.
Yeah.
But like they don't do it quick. They
I
don't do
think-
it like they don't have you can see they don't have the they don't have it in them to, like, if I were to promote them, like they wouldn't you wouldn't be
Oh,
able to
like,
do it.
yeah.
they couldn't take the ball and run with
They
it.
couldn't take the ball and run with it.
I think that there are certain people who are better at just being a piece of the machine.
But,
And
like-
the people who go beyond their job description and do all the good stuff are the people who do deserve to be moved along.
And I've done that and ugh.
See, I just
cultivated.
I disagree. I think sometimes you need to throw somebody into a position of responsibility, and then they snap into it because that is how
Some
that worked
people
for
do.
me.
That's how I am
Well,
too.
you're some people. You're
Yeah.
not most people.
But my point is
That's my
Maybe,
point.
Maybe, yeah.
My point is, you can have two people who give you the same, like, okay, I'm going to give you the same project to work on, and I'm going to give you guys a week. And both of these people are going to give you the same result. Now, this person took 5 days, 40 hours. Okay. This person took 30 hours.
Okay.
Or 24, whatever the hours is.
Sure.
Is what I'm saying is, like, there's people who you can do what's in your job description. Oops, sorry. You can do what's in your job description, but, like, still go above and beyond by, like,
yeah.
I can do this in 4 hours, and they gave me 8.
The idea of quiet quitting, which is the term, is stupid in and of itself.
Yeah.
But the
'Cause you're
idea
not
of
quitting.
it is left over from the previous generation when they defined their lives with their work, and every single one of them went into work and tried to be the best that they could be, and we don't do that. Like, this generation as a whole does not do that because we realized that you get nowhere.
That we don't have to.
Yeah, like you can go into work and work your ass off at a job that doesn't pay you anything at all
And won't give you anything extra after the fact.
absolutely nowhere, where you're getting paid the exact same amount of money as the dude who's standing right beside you, who is doing nothing but what he is asked 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So I guess I wasn't aware of what quiet quitting was. I thought quiet quitting was just not showing up.
No. That's a no call. That's a no call, no show.
That's just quitting quietly.
That's quitting.
Okay. I thought, because a lot of the new generation, when I talk to people who are like running stores or doing whatever, they're like, yeah, we hire these people and then they just
don't show up.
That's
anymore.
different. That's just laziness.
That's called no call, no show.
Yeah.
That's what we call that.
Quiet quitting is this term that's come out. I feel like it's been in like the past 3 months.
It's within the last year at least.
6 months, no
6
doubt.
months, yes. That's what I was thinking.
He's a quiet quitter.
The idea is that you are quiet quitting when you still do your job every single day, but you do not attempt to do anything more than the bare fucking minimum.
So why is that quitting?
It's because
again, like he said, it's ingrained in their generational
brain to go above and beyond and do extra work, take on more responsibility, and not get paid for it.
Not that you're literally quitting your job, but you're kind of a quitter. Like you're acting like a quitter.
It's such a stupid fucking term how they termed it, but
it's based on the expectation that you will come to work and try to do as much as you possibly can because you know
that's what I do.
You're expected to be a fucking waste.
Here's the I do the same thing even now, but it's I'm only doing like I can come in and when we're doing rack fabrication in the shop, I can come in and I can terminate dress the cables. And I was doing it faster than other people. But the thing is, when I was done, I was like, okay, well, what else do I have to do? I wasn't I wasn't going. I'm like, oh, well, should I supervise the warehouse, even though that's not my job title? I wasn't doing shit like that. But fuck, I forget the point I was trying to make on it.
So
but,
okay, so this happened to me today. So
I got pissed though.
There was somebody. There was somebody not doing their job. And I was like, "Hey, there's a write-up in the book. I'm just gonna do it." And and then one guy was like, "Why would you do that? That's not your job." And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't care. I just want it to get done so that the aircraft doesn't X." And I'm always trying to do that to keep the mission going. I did that overseas. I would just do whatever needed to get done, even though it's not my job. Is that?
No, so there isn't anything wrong with overachieving in the workplace if you think that, well, not only if you think that you should be doing it, but you genuinely just want to do it, or you are the kind of person who wants to succeed at something they are doing because they enjoy succeeding at it.
Right.
But if you
if you constantly do that and then you don't get any actual reward for it.
And it's also it goes along the same term as you don't quiet quit a workplace that is good to you.
Right.
You quiet quit when you have a boss that isn't doing very well, you not doing very well, but your boss sucks, you're treated badly, you don't get your days off that you want, whatever the fuck it is. If you have a positive working environment and you want to exceed your expectations because that's who you are, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
It's not. I don't know. I don't think anybody who's like, oh yeah, everyone should be a quiet quitter. Everyone should do the bare fucking minimum. No,
Absolutely not.
That's bullshit.
I don't think everybody should, but the thing is I support it.
Yeah, I don't.
110% because there are a lot of people in every fucking industry who, like you hear it all the time. It's like, oh well, we don't want to lose you,
Right.
but it's like we don't want to lose you. It's because like you do everything without us having to pay you more or
Right.
ask you to do it.
The thing is, they should act like it.
That
little more.
person, well, that's my thing. Is like that person right there. That person deserves when reviews come up. Like, hey, I can't give you a $10 raise, but you know what? I'm giving you the highest I can get. Like I'm gonna fight for it. Like I'm gonna do that. That shit doesn't happen for people like that.
No.
Like
Yeah.
every time I got it's not like tooting my own horn, but like I busted my fucking ass as like a store manager,
Sure.
and all of my raises at first I'm like, that's fucking sick. And then when I realized it was like, oh well, we raised our minimum for this position, so like everybody that was under this now has to make this. So the fact that like after 5 fucking years I'm making the same amount of money as
brand
someone
new
who
person.
just came in.
Yeah,
And
that's
It was like that
Actually-
at one of my jobs too. I
Literally,
hated it.
one of the reasons why I don't do a tremendous amount of like I do very little at work when I can.
sure.
Is because we have people in the building who are paid at the same level as us or more, and who don't do anything at all, who do not have a working, and they're not reprimanded at all. So why would I bust my ass in scenarios where there really isn't anything that's going to come of it at all, when the guy that I'm watching do nothing is doing nothing?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not all the time. I know when I have to actually work, but I'm going to fucking stand there and play on my phone because the other dude is standing there and playing on his phone, and we're both getting paid the same goddamn amount of money.
Nothing to gain, nothing to lose.
So I think it's still ingrained in my head because when I started working at a consistent level, it was the fall of the fucking economy. And
Well, you have famine mentality.
I do.
Me and you
And
have the very similar work
I'm
ethic.
sure we do.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm even now busting my ass when I should really be taking.
No,
I should be taking a step
I get
back.
nervous that somebody's gonna see me not doing something. It is part of my DNA that they'll go, hey, Matt wasn't doing anything today, and he's newer. We could probably just let him go.
Yeah.
It is
No.
in my brain.
Impossible
I get it.
to happen, I think.
That's not impossible. I mean, I've seen it happen.
After a year, you can do whatever the fuck you want. No, I mean, like, I'll tell you, before, our annual training, I
Yeah.
worked 13-ish hour days
Oh, I know.
in a row.
I know you did.
Because stuff had to get the fuck up in order for us to execute. So, like, if you have the ability to do both, if you can, achieve when you need to achieve and relax when you have the opportunity to relax, then go for it.
Oh yeah.
Be good to yourself.
I've been very selfish lately though with that bullshit. Where it's like, if there's nothing to do at work, I'm like, why am I here? Like, I would rather be at home doing like my personal shit, like life
all the
shit.
time.
And that's better for your mental state than just standing around.
At
Which
work.
will make
Yeah.
you that'll in turn make you a better employee.
Exactly.
I'm also someone who
Yeah.
can't fucking even at home. Like, I can't sit still. Like, unless like.
Man.
I can sit
I
still when a
have-
movie's on. Other than that, I
have my time.
Stuff.
I have like that's what happened last week when I was supposed to come on. Like, I had my time.
Yeah.
I sat
That was
down.
hilarious.
I sat down and like I fucking passed
Yeah,
out.
you're like me. Liz calls me a shark. As soon as I sit down, as soon as I stop moving, I fucking pass out.
Yep. That's what happened. Like, I was like pacing around the house, like
Oh, I will fall asleep.
emails
like
and all that
this.
shit, smoking cigarette, going. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna lay down and watch this, and then I sit down for a minute. I had a bowl of cereal. It was nice.
That's a fucking
cereal.
superpower, and you should be glad you can do that.
Got a lot of energy.
Sort of. Not really. Depends on the time of day. And depends on what I got to do with my knees and back.
Oh yeah.
Outside of that, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, if you want that promotion, you're gonna have to do a lot on your knees and your back. All right. So we got
That's a full circle jerk because the joke. I'm leaving that one. I'm leaving that one. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna even finish the fucking joke.
All
I'm
right.
leaving it.
well,
That's I can't think of a
clipping
better
that.
place to
He's
to
fucking
end it.
clipping that. I'm
Yeah, well-
gonna see that on TikTok in 3 days.
Well, coworkers,
It's actually already there.
the
He's
AI,
live right now.
the fucking Apple AI is probably already taking care of that. So, okay, coworkers, that was a wonderful episode. Jay, Mike,
Oh, I'm 2 weeks behind actually on like the episodes. When did coworkers happen?
just now,
Just now.
Oh,
tonight.
today?
Yeah,
Fuck yes.
Tom made that up.
I'm a part of
I came up with a shitty one, and then he came up with a better one right on top of it. So
I
it was
don't
good.
I want to put this on record. I don't want to be like, okay, coworkers. That's a little
Corny?
that's a little podcast farmy.
Yeah.
That's a little podcast for me. All right.
It's campy.
Well, you're not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends yet. So you can't be that
This
bad.
episode is brought to you by
Oh, yeah.
DraftKings, by the way.
If Music
God.
Gaming 12, when you start making a lot of money off Twitch, if you want to fund my horror movie idea,
I would
Let's
just,
go.
I would help fund that if you actually wanted to make a movie. I've been wanting to make a movie for like a
Dude.
decade, and I can't find dedicated people. I'm
I-
really good at fucking editing and all that shit.
I don't know about
would
me.
love to.
I would always. That's another thing too. Is like me and Breeden had like an old idea of like making a movie where like the fucking what is it off of Route 113, Route 9 off of Route 9, the gas plant, they have the Valera plant. We had a movie about like movie idea about like that like critically explodes and like fucking wipes out like parts
Oh,
of
like
Newcastle
yeah,
and shit. Yeah,
that's kind of cool. Yeah, you got to start simpler because
Yeah,
like,
I know.
the budget is not there. But
well, that's why like the whole like nuclear war. Unless what we could do is in a couple months we could just go film it live and then use that.
oh god,
All it takes is
On
a plane ticket
location.
to Ukraine.
Which is probably cheap right now.
Yeah, well, into the area is going to be relatively cheap, but actually
That's-
getting across the border, depending on where you're
I don't
trying
know
to do.
if you go far enough west in like Blackbird, Delaware, you can find some places that
in
look-
where?
Blackbird.
Blackbird.
It's a real place.
Yeah.
It's a region. Well,
I've been on Blackbird Road in Middletown.
It's a
Before.
con-
Is that it?
Keep going.
It's a concept.
Oh,
yeah. It looks pretty abandoned down there.
it does. But we used to play shows around that area at Edith's farmhouse.
Year of the Knife shot a music video around there on a farm. It was awesome.
There's what I was gonna say is there's a video on YouTube, and I'll show you guys probably when we get off of this. It's a dude, they're interviewing him. He's like, what's like a weird thing you like to do? He goes, I like to visit places after a tragedy has happened.
Yeah,
And he talks
I've
about,
seen that guy. Yeah,
That
after a
is
terrorist attack. That guy.
Genius.
Yeah.
Absolutely genius.
Yeah, I saw that guy like a couple of years ago. That's
Yeah,
an older.
it's an
interview,
old video.
but-
It's so good.
But
though.
he said it's the safest place to be.
Yeah, he's like security.
it's
Cheap
cheap.
flight
Okay.
security is on point when you go in, and like, I'm like, that's not a bad idea.
Which is weird because true crime sites are like super expensive to go to and like stay at hotels that like people have died in.
Yeah, but not immediately.
Speaking of that, we were supposed to go to Salem next week,
Dude,
and we just never
we're-
booked we never booked the
we're
idea.
going to
Don't
Salem.
go to Salem in October.
Yeah, don't do
I
that to
know.
yourself.
Well, the reason why was because we had so much shit going on in September,
Come to our haunted house. on
and
Halloween.
I was like, well, I want to use my PTO before like it recycles, and I lose like the week that I have, and I was like, I got to do it before November. And Salem was like, I was like, oh, because what we can do is we can stay in Boston and then just spend a day in Salem and then just go hang out in Boston the rest of the week.
Sure.
Cool.
No.
Boston.
Let's wrap this shit up like a present.
Yeah.
Follow
I gotta
us.
find my khakis.
Find us and follow us on Instagram. Thanks for your services _podcast. That'll have links to all of our platforms that the show can be found on. The YouTube channel, TikTok, all that good shit. You can
Gmail.
there is the email there. You can direct message us and just see what's up on there. And then what's the email, Matt?
The email is ThankYouForUrServices @gmail.com. You're spelled UR. What?
You got real quiet all of a sudden.
What? No, I was trying to just not be normally loud.
Oh.
Are you guys on the Trump site yet?
The what?
Okay.
The Trump media site, whatever the fuck.
Oh, is that a real thing? I heard about that. I thought it was
I don't
like
know.
a
There's
joke.
like the Trump social. Yeah. Oh yeah. He has like his own version of
Is it
Twitter.
like Orange Facebook?
Yeah.
Almost.
That was good.
Thanks.
Thank you for your service.